Good morning, beautiful people. It is Friday, the 30th of May. Welcome to TDA, the day after your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by you guys, the culture. And of course, we are hosted by the very best. How are you guys doing this morning?
It's your girl, Just Dream, representing the Black Queens in the fitness scene. How you mean? See, it's not fun when Esther's not here. Because she'd be like, do you know what I mean?
But Brent, you know what I'm saying? I need Brent will do the job. Ben, how you doing, man?
Blessed and highly favored. Good morning, everybody. I really appreciate the chatter that was in the Discord yesterday. I love when that is populated. I love when that's popping off. I only wish that sometimes that it's popping off because it's not after some mess that's happened on the morning show. But alas, as I keep saying, this is a daily show, right? What happens yesterday happens yesterday. The sun still rises and the day begins again. And here we are. How are you, Emmanuel?
Say again?
How are you, Emmanuel?
All right, man. You know me, man. Can't complain, man. I'm here.
All right. You looking forward to Saturday?
Yeah, man. Of course. This guy.
I'm going to see whoever signed up for the blood drive. I'm going to see you tomorrow, God willing. I'll try and reach a bit early. So if you see a tall black man, I don't know what I'm going to be wearing, so I'm not going to give you further details, but a tall black man just ambling around, looking hopeful, right? That's me. Come say hi. I might stay like maybe 15 minutes after. Obviously, I have to eat biscuits and stuff, innit? Yeah, get the plasma back or NG back, whatever.
Yep.
But hopefully, it goes swimmingly, and then I'll have to shoot off to Liverpool Street, and then after that, I have to shoot off to Bank.
Yep.
In fact, no.
No?
No, I will, because I will go next door at the hotel. I'll bathe and thing, and then I will head back. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because I need to bathe. After they take blood, I don't know what happens.
Okay. So dramatic.
What happens?
So dramatic.
Oh, this guy.
I need a cleansing or something. Anyway, how have you been, Gina? I've missed you.
I've missed you too.
Yeah,
I've actually missed you guys.
Yeah.
I've been okay.
We've seen you globetrotting, doing all these new experiences and whatnot.
Yeah, your girl went to Thailand. It was good. It was interesting. I had a bit of a moment though. Because the last time I went to Thailand, I went with Janice. So I had like a really sad, I know, innit? I got really emotional out there and I had to like pull myself together. Do you know what's really weird, yeah? It sounds stupid, but it's like, you know I guess for me, I never realised how much losing a friend would impact me. I've never thought about it. Do you get what I mean? So, So because I'm living it, it always takes me by surprise, if you get what I mean. Because it's like, it's not a relative. And I guess, not that in my head, you're only meant to feel like that when relatives pass away, but it's weird. It always like throws me off. And I always just think, in the nicest way, man up, Gina. But, do you know what I mean? But yeah, it was good though. I enjoyed it. Do you know what I did like the most? So May's like the start of their raining season, so it rained a lot. But I like find rain so therapeutic. And like the villa I was staying in was like beautiful. So every time it rained, like we would run, like as in run and sit outside and just listen to the rain. Like that was like my favorite thing to do.
It's like got the calming.
Yeah, and like we can hear birds and nature and just rain. And I was like, this is so like peaceful. And Thai people are like, it reminds me of Ghana. They're just very happy. Like when you walk in, they're just it's like, why are you smiling so much? Like they're just so happy. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, they're very friendly, very happy people. It's like a very peaceful place. Like,
was it disarming or you just got used to it after a while? The smiling.
No, I got used to it after a while. But do you know, because again, I've been there before. So it's like when we got out of the airport, everything came back to me. I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, like this is what you lot are like. But they're like, it was really good. It was nice.
It sounds like a fantastic
place to go.
Very well spirited place.
No, 100%.
What sort of balance did you have? Did you have like a more of a resting one? Or?
Definitely.
Okay.
In terms of going out, I didn't do, like, I did a few things, but it was so different to, like, I guess. I've realised that I've changed. I know I've changed anyway, but, like, it's just becoming more and more evident. Do you get what I mean? So, like, there was a lot of resting. And I did a lot of Muay Thai as well.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's interesting because I used to do Muay Thai before, like years ago. And then I did it out there and I was like, oh, I think I want to go back, which is annoying. Because I'm like, do you know, you've got too much going on. But like, I'm not bad at it. So it's kind of like, because I'm not bad. Whenever there's things I'm not bad at, I'm just like, girl.
I just remember that I saw a clip.
Yeah.
You got a solid double jab.
That's what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean?
thinking,
I got these hands.
All right. Did you do like any excursions and stuff like that? Did you go any long walks and all that sort of stuff?
I did a walk every day. So every day I went for like a long walk just around the town. I think the best thing that we did was our island hopping. So we did like an island trip thing, which was beautiful. Really, really nice. Thailand's massive. It's so big. Like there's so much to explore. Like so many different islands. There's just, yeah, it's so big. There's like so much to do. I'm even contemplating going there at the end of the year and spending like my New Year, like Christmas into New Year's there on my own.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm contemplating it.
Serious?
Because I feel like it calmed my nervous system. Do you get what I mean? So it was a nice feeling.
Is it almost like, well, I guess it's not exactly the same, but it just made me think of, you know, like how people like to go to like do ayahuasca and all that sort of stuff, but like without obviously the enhancements. You're just away, just able to.
Yeah, it's just laid back and low maintenance, as in like half the clothes I packed, I even laughed when I got there. I literally wore flip-flops, shorts and a t-shirt every day. Like it's so low maintenance. You just, do you know what I mean? Everyone just rides peds and just, it's so like, so it's so different to here. Do you get what I mean? Like you literally just get to like chill, slow down and take things in. And I thoroughly enjoyed that.
That's sick, man. Have you been to Bali?
Yeah, I have.
What's better? And why?
It's hard to explain it because I'm like, I've had different experiences. It's like Bali, I went with my ex, so it was a different type of holiday. And then when I went to Thailand before, it was with friends. So it's like, I think both of them are really good holidays. They're both quite similar.
Okay.
I think Bali's definitely cheap. Do you know what? You know how everyone says, oh, Thailand's cheap. Not anymore. I don't think it, compared to when I went before, I didn't, this cheapness, I was just like, I'm paying £7 for ice cream. Like, what?
What?
Haagen-Dazs. So I'm going for the import. So, do you know what I mean? You're paying import prices. But Bali's really nice though. And there's two sides to Bali. You've got like the really green sides, that nature, greenery, and then you've got like the city. So I've done both. I definitely do Bali again as well. Because both of them, like I did Thailand like 9 years ago. So obviously a lot's changed since I last went. Same with Bali. So I definitely recommend them to anyone though. I know they're quite far and it's on the other side of the world, but it's definitely worth the trip.
Okay.
Yeah. And they've got better because obviously when I went last time, it's like the people, whenever they saw us, because we were black, there was such a big, massive like culture shock, people staring, taking pictures, that kind of stuff. There was none of that this time because clearly it's become a very popular tourist destination so that they're used to seeing black people. So it was absolutely fine.
I just seen Noreen say Bali's better. Thailand is the devil's playground.
I'm not going to lie, let me be honest, yeah. You see, when I was in Patong, I just kept thinking, this is Sodom and Gomorrah.
Serious?
Like, yo.
Why? What's
Patong,
like?
that strip in Patong. Because you've got Ladyboys, like, everywhere. They're selling sex shows. So, like, people literally are like, come and watch this sex show. Do you want lesbian? Do you want threesomes? Like, it's Sodom and Gomorrah. Like, I literally was just like, where is Jesus? Like, it's a lot. It is literally a lot. Like, it's literally one strip with all the bars and the clubs and like just people standing trying to sell you places to go and like stuff. But it's like everything. I just thought, nah, man. Like, where is Jesus? Like, it was a lot.
What do you mean by where's Jesus?
No, but like, you know what I mean. I just kept.
I don't know what to do.
Not where's Jesus, but like, it's just. I was like, he must be looking right now, thinking, "Is this where you are, sinner?" But yeah, it was. Yeah, and then you got strip clubs. It's a lot. Like, that place is a lot. So I get what she means by the Devil's Playground. It is a lot.
Vaughn said, "Did you see Black Lad Travel?"
Did I see who? How can you tell they're ladyboys? It is so. Listen, it is so. Look at their Adam's apple. Like,
oh my goodness.
Like, the thing is, some of them, yeah, you have to squint, and it's a guessing game. But you know, sometimes when they speak, you can hear like the soft bass in their voice.
Yeah.
And then others literally have a quagmire jawline, but long hair, and like, do you know what I mean? It's just, yeah. And they are out in full force. When you're walking, if you're a guy, they're gonna grab you or like try to get your attention, or it's a lot.
So is it fair to say that particular strip, yeah, just see everyone as Ladyboy, and then you'll be okay?
Oh yeah, the safest thing to do is to do that. Literally, like, the safest thing to do is to do that.
Wow.
And then it's jokes, yeah, because we went into one club, which was like a strip club, and can I just say it made me laugh, because I was like, we're really built different, like our physiques. Because when I walked in there, I was like, do not body shame. Don't body shame. I was just so intrigued, because I'm used to, like, when I think of strip clubs and I think of like our culture, it's just, do you know what I mean? It's just so much nyash. And so when I walked in, I was like, oh, this is different. Yeah. And I was just like, wow, yeah. No, yeah. Yeah.
Did anybody that you went with look to experience?
What Ladyboys? Nah. It was jokes, because we were like I kept laughing at them lot and being like, good luck. And they were like, nah, like, this place is making me uneasy. Like, they were so on edge. Like, and we'd literally be walking past and like playing like a guessing game. Like, do you think that's a ladyboy? Or like, do you think that is? Or da 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 da. But can I be honest? Like, you know, sorry, but you know, some Oyo boys, like, that's their bag, innit? Like, it is.
How do you mean? Because I've seen videos, right, of these ladies.
Watch is questionable that men love that. Sorry. No, it's true.
Ladyboys.
Sorry. Apologies. I should know better, because I spoke about this earlier. Sorry.
That's all right.
No. Please. Forgive me. Seriously.
You don't need forgiveness.
Okay.
So I've seen some videos, right?
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I see the phone come out to take the number, it's always a white hand. So it's really true.
I'm not joking. Like, and you always see old, retired, like, Oyibo men, like, there, and you always see them with like a Thai lady or a Thai woman. Like, that's their bag.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
That is their bag.
But question though, man, is it because they're gay? Or
No, you're talking about the old people. Are not, they're not gay. They were like old. They're just with like younger Thai
really
women.
Thai, like really
Look
young,
after
like
them sort of thing.
Thai women. But then, can I be honest? Sometimes you don't know.
Sorry. Run that by me again.
So it's two different things Gina say, isn't it? So basically, along that strip here, you've got, I guess, I'm assuming the younger Oyibo people, yeah, who are experiencing the ladyboys. But the older guys who are retired and stuff, they go there to settle down and just chill with a young Thai lady. Do you get what I'm saying? But that's a real.
When you say a young Thai lady, as in a woman.
Yes.
Yeah, a woman.
All right.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that what you mean?
Both.
Okay.
I mean, you see like the young Jack the Lad, like,
doing
you lot are just on a drunken night. Good luck.
So that's what I want to find out, right?
Yeah.
So is it that they're gay or they're just white lads? Does that make any sense?
No, I get it, but I can't answer that question for you, because I saw a video on TikTok here of a guy sitting with his partner who is a ladyboy, and he was just like, I'm not gay. He was like, I just love her. I accept her for who she is and all the parts that come with her. It doesn't mean that I'm gay.
So
So I was just like, cool story, bro.
Man, with their culture, right? The ladyboy culture.
Yeah.
Do they see themselves as women?
I would not know this.
Oh no, I thought you were well researched in this.
What? For what?
Because you
Why?
were just answering my question about the old men.
No, because I've seen those older men like go there, but they're with women though. You know what I'm saying? Like they're retired. You know, like how certain people from the UK when they retire they go Spain.
Yeah.
Similar sort of thing, but
Yeah,
they
yeah.
go there single and have women. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And live out their lives. Or
Like,
whatnot.
do they get involved in the whole transphobic conversation? Are they online like that?
Who are you talking about now?
The people that
These lot are not.
you met when you went to Thai.
Oh no, I've never been there. I'm just saying what I've seen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But those people, no, that's a separate thing though. Those the older white men, retired guys.
Yeah.
They don't at least from what I've seen, they don't indulge in none of that stuff.
Yeah.
They're with women.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But the younger people that you're talking about that go there to that are drunk and whatnot, I guess they're on something else.
Because you know what I can imagine, yeah? Like football, like hooligans. Like imagine them lot, yeah? I can imagine meeting a girl, I met a bird, yeah? I met a bird, took her home, and then all of a sudden, do you know what I mean? But it was too late now. Yeah, it was too late now, so I just knocked one out. Do you know? But do you get what I mean? Like, I can imagine that conversation. Well, I'm not gay. I'm not gay, Gary.
100%.
No, I just knocked one out. Do you know what I mean? Life experiences. Like, I can literally, and the thing is, you lot can see it too. You know what I'm talking about. Like,
And the thing is,
that's the energy that they're on.
they proper like just do it in their 20s, 30s.
Yeah, just get it. Do you know what I mean? It's like
just
they
continue.
call it life.
Get married to women afterwards.
Yeah,
it's all right.
they'll just call it life experience.
Just went to Thailand.
Listen, Ed, Danny Dyer settings 100%. Like, I know, I was seeing them. I said, I know who you are. Like, literally. Do you know what? One thing though, when I was there, I did think like, what is the history of this? Like, who woke up? Because it's something that's very heavily in their it's in their culture, right? And it's so accepted. Like, who woke up one day and said, "I'm gonna be a ladyboy," and then because it's essentially a profession.
Yeah.
So I really wanna. I was so intrigued. Like, who started this movement? Like, and for it to become such a thing that they are known
culture,
for.
innit?
Yes, it's very interesting.
Boy, who knows, man? Who knows? But yeah, you know.
But anyway, you had a good time when you're looking to go back December
God willing.
on your own.
God willing.
That's good, man. Anyhow, let's crack on.
Before we go on though, there is a rest in peace that I have to shout out to. Basically give some props to a legend. But if you don't mind putting his picture on the screen.
Before we go on to that important stuff, I see that Christy was saying I'm not taking accountability for yesterday. I think on the air yesterday, 120%, I took accountability. I said it was my fault, like several times. So I'm not sure what that's about. But like I said, yesterday was yesterday. Today is another day. Tomorrow will be tomorrow. Let's keep everything aesthetic, nice vibes. Gina's back. Come on. Come on. Thank you very much. And again, it's my fault. Just if you didn't hear that first time, it's my fault. All right. There's a link.
No, it's just his name is in the intro.
Okay.
Just so you can put a picture up. And this is about the passing of the legendary Ngugi wa Thiong'o.
Come on. Do that again?
Huh?
Who's?
Ngugi wa Thiong'o. And he was a Kenyan writer, man. A scholar, Pan-Africanist, an activist whose work reshaped African literature, man.
Oh,
and
I know
post-colonial thought. Yes, of course you do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even if people don't recognize his face or his name, you know, like some of his books or something. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, like he authored many classics, man. So Weep Not Child was the first novel in English by an East African writer. He had The River Between a Grain of Wheat. Everyone, you know, most people heard of A Grain of Wheat, and Petals of Blood. And he transitioned from writing in English to his native tongue, Gikuyu, yeah, in the late 1970s, saying we need to be super strict and really promote our indigenous languages. So he was just writing in his language since the late 1970s. He also co-authored the play I Will Marry When I Want in 1977, which led to his arrest and a year-long detention without trial. And during his imprisonment as well, he was also writing, as one does, and he wrote "Devil on the Cross," and he did that on toilet paper. Yeah, man. Yeah, like he held teaching positions at the University of Nairobi, Yale, University of California, where he was a distinguished professor and directed the International Center for Writing and Translation. As well, he had an influential essay. He published Decolonizing the Mind in 1986, which is a seminal collection advocating for linguistic decolonization and the use of native languages in African literature as well. And yeah, man, he was a legend, man. I'm saying he was dedicated to the liberation of the African mind, and his legacy endures as a guiding light for all those who fight for cultural pride and justice, man. He was born in 1938, and he passed away 2 days ago, man, May 28th, in Georgia at the age of 87. So rest in peace to the legend Ngugi wa Thiong'o.
A life well lived.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
All right, then.
All right, let's get into our headlines, Brent. All right, people. So, trigger warning on this one. Hamas says that a US plan for a ceasefire in Gaza fails to meet its core demands, but it will continue to study the proposals. So the White House said on Thursday that Israel had signed off on US envoy Steve Witkoff's plan and that it was waiting for a formal response from Hamas. Israeli media cited Israeli officials as saying it would see Hamas hand over 10 living hostages and the bodies of 18 dead hostages in 2 phases in exchange for a 60-day ceasefire and the release of Palestinian prisoners in Israeli jails. Israel imposed a total blockade on Gaza and resumed its military offensive against Hamas on the 18th of March, following the collapse of a 2-month ceasefire brokered by the US, Qatar, and also Egypt. Almost 4,000 people have been killed in Gaza over the past 10 weeks. Bringing it back to the UK, Conservative Party leader Kemi Badenoch has accused Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer and the Reform UK leader Nigel Farage of indulging in fantasy economics over their approaches to welfare policies. Writing in the Daily Mail, Badenoch says that both leaders believe in getting struggling taxpayers to fund unlimited child support for others. Her commentary comes from the Labour government indicating that it was looking at the possibility of scrapping the 2-child benefit cap. Farage said earlier this week that his party would also get rid of the policy and back more generous tax breaks for married people. Badenoch added that the country could not afford their fantasy economics and that Britain deserved leaders who did not treat economics like a branch of showbiz. This week we have seen Labour and Reform in a race to the bottom, to scrap the 2-child benefit cap. This is what she also wrote as well. She also went on to say, Starmer and Farage now believe in getting taxpayers, many of whom are struggling to raise their own children, or choosing not to have them in the first place, to fund unlimited child support for others. And the last headline takes us to America, where a US appeals court temporarily blocked a lower court ruling that deemed most of President Trump's global tariffs illegal. We spoke about that yesterday. The White House successfully appealed, arguing that the lower court overstepped its authority in questioning presidential economic and foreign policy decisions. The lower court's decision would have voided tariffs on goods from China, Mexico and Canada, as well as a blanket 10% import tax on goods from various countries. The appeals court's decision allows the tariffs to remain in place for now, pending further litigation with a hearing scheduled for June 5th. While some express optimism, the situation remains uncertain, with the possibility of the case reaching the Supreme Court and impacting future tariff strategies. And that's it for our headlines.
All right.
Let's get into Word and Road.
Dina, did you manage to catch up on stuff that's happening on the curb, on the street side?
A little bit, not too much.
Damn it. How about you, Manuel?
Me?
Yeah.
Coming out.
What, within the last 24 hours?
No, maybe 48. You heard about the Tory Lanez and Meg
I don't really
Shannon?
know too much about it though. I know that are they reopening the case? You know this ain't my bag.
Whose bag is it?
Well, the person who's not here.
Then we can't talk about this then. Well, I'll try.
All right, go on, do your thing.
All right.
So what's the word on the road?
I don't know.
What's today's mathematics? What's today's mathematics?
I don't know. Let's try. Emmanuel, have you seen anything on X? Have you seen any videos? Like the Congresswoman, like she's really like going hard. Really going hard. And they dropped 4 videos, I think, yesterday. And one of the videos was a recording of Megan Thee Stallion sat on the curb, and she was asked how she cut her foot, and she said it was glass. And she said, I can't go to jail. Rumor image or something like that. Second video was one of the police officers talking to another one whilst they were looking into the car. And there was a suitcase, I think, on the floor. There was a little blood in the suitcase, and then the guy was asking some questions. One of them said, we got the gun, and we are looking at the place that they came from. I'm guessing it's the house. And he asked about how she cut her foot, and then the woman responded, I think she stepped out and stepped in a bottle or something like that. And then another video was when she got out, Megan got out the car when they stopped her. And apparently there was a bottle on the floor that she stepped on, and you heard it go, and then apparently she started limping.
Okay.
Right? This is all apparently, right? Because I've been looking at these stuff, and I've been asking ChatGPT to help me with certain questions. Certain questions based on what I remember from the court case, right? Because some people are like tweeting, oh my goodness, look, she didn't even get shot. And you can see from the video that she steps in the glass. But my understanding is that she got out the car twice.
Okay.
The initial time that she got shot was when the tussle was happening. She got out, and then she got, shot. I don't know who shot her at this point in time as I'm telling you this, right? I have my own theories, but at that time, that was the first time. And she got back into the car, right? And they drove on, and then they got pulled over. Do you understand?
Okay.
So the video where she, quote unquote, steps out and steps on the bottle, that she's already, quote unquote, being shot. Do you understand? Yeah. And they also showed a picture of Kelsey and Tory standing up against some white wall. I guess the photos have been taken of them back and front. And Kelsey has blood on her leg, right?
Okay.
So I'm now kind of, patching all these things together. I'm thinking, this is making more sense to me, right? And it's not making sense to a lot of people, but it's making more sense to me, right? Still on the theory of there's no way this guy could be in jail for because he decided to basically save 2 black women. Impossible. In my mind, I can't reconcile that, right? I can't reconcile that him getting stabbed up, right? And still choosing this jail life because of some code. Impossible.
Is he still choosing it though?
Yeah, in my head he is.
Okay.
Okay, wait. Let me get back to my rationale, right? So if there's blood on Kelsey's leg, and let me know if you're not following me.
Yes.
If there's blood, I wish that's what I was saying. If there's blood in Kelsey's leg, that means that when they got pulled over, there was blood on her leg.
Okay.
Right? The only time that we see anything from Kelsey is this picture. Yes?
Okay.
So, my theory is she got shot, Megan got shot the first time.
Okay.
Right? She tussled with Kelsey, she got shot the first time.
By who?
In my opinion, both of them shot her. In my opinion, there's a tussle with the girl, Kelsey.
Right. Yeah.
Fight, kick, whatever. And she gets out of the car and she moves what it says. If Kelsey shoots her first, cool. I think that Tory then takes the gun, right? And bam, bam, 2. Because one of the witnesses said they heard 2 sets of gunfire, as in the timeline, right? So I think the first time was Kelsey, allegedly, and the second time was Tory. He wanted to get in on the.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But anyway,
can I be honest? It's not London.
No, I'm finished.
Okay.
So right now, you're still thinking that Tory never shot anybody. I'd like you to go on record so we can have a discussion. I want you to take a side, and I will take the side.
You want me to take a side?
You already have, but I want you to say that you've taken
No,
a side.
I'm saying not landed,
I want people
as in-
think I'm putting words in your mouth.
No, as in I'm saying you're not selling the story.
So, sorry, who do you think shot Megan?
I don't know.
So that's where you're standing on the fence.
Do I have to have an opinion on this?
Well, to be honest, it's already been... He's in jail right now. So
Yeah.
you're saying you don't believe that he should be in jail.
When did I say that?
I was just about to ask.
I asked you just now, who do you think shot Megan?
I said I don't know.
And you've never known? You've never had an opinion? But I'm only saying that. It's only because in my head, like he's in jail. So if he's in jail,
It means
I
he shot
thought
her,
that
no?
Gina would have said, I think Tory shot Megan.
No, of
You
course.
understand?
Of course.
What's just my reason? I just jumped to the end.
No, fair enough. You know what? It's because I'm not paying attention. Let me pay attention. That's what it is.
I'm not trying to get you in trouble or anything. I just
That's
want to know
what
where
it is.
you stand or sit on this thing.
So
innit?
why is he in
It just cut
prison
off, by the
then?
way, Brent.
Why did he go to jail?
What?
You know the sound?
Oh, it's gone.
Yeah.
Question: what evidence did they have? So if you, no, hold on, because you give me that look. Yeah. If he's in jail, he shot Megan, no, and
What's his neck movement? What's his neck movement? God damn it.
or oh how
All right. So there's bare dubious stuff going around, like bare, right? There was never any fragments, but yet in the court
No,
documents,
but why are you
it
saying
says
that? Is that true though, Brent?
no. What is being said,
Okay.
based on the information that's been put out by this congresswoman,
Okay.
is that there were never any fragments.
Do you know how crazy this is?
Wait a minute. But I'm now going back to the court documents via ChatGPT.
Okay.
And there were x-rays shown and medical professionals saying, yes,
Exactly.
there were fragments of the gun casing in the bloody thing.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So I am not going to just run off of this most recent news because in the court, they provided evidence. Do you understand? And that's where I'm still thinking, cool, there must be more to this. There must be more that that this congresswoman has just decided to overlook. That whoever made this site where they put this information on, I'm guessing Tory's legal defense or whatever, but still, it looks damning, and I can understand as to why there is confusion. I can understand why people are saying, nah, sorry, there's been a hella lies that's been transpiring here. Hella lies. Because in the video, she does say, yep, stepped on glass. But I can understand why she would say she stepped on glass, because she's looking to protect what she wants to protect, right?
Is it true that, so they're saying that her friend...
1 second. One YouTuber I was watching, he said she doesn't start limping until she gets out of the car and steps on this glass, right? And this is where I disagree.
Okay.
Because she was already bleeding. I say that because there's blood on Kelsey's leg, right? So that blood, in my mind, came from the bottom of Megan's foot. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So we don't see any other footage or pictures of Kelsey other than the picture that they'd shown us when it is she's standing by the white wall. So when it is I was watching that particular video of her stepping out of the car, it was slowed down. So it was slowed down to a point where VAR, where her VAR looks to do it really slow, and you forget about what happened before, what happened after. It's just focusing on that particular second or two. So you're only able to now, I guess, frame in your mind that she only started limping after she stepped out of the thingamajiggy. Do you understand? Anyway. So I think he's not going anywhere. I don't think the evidence that the videos that I've seen so far is strong enough to now free him. Is what I'm saying. This is my hot take. You understand? But I still do believe that I can understand as to why people are questioning hella stuff.
This is crazy, man.
Yeah, it is. But question, Emmanuel.
Yeah.
If it turns out that she was lying, right? Because I'm like, why is she protecting Kelsey? If Kelsey shot her, why is she protecting her? Especially seeing as she slept with her man. Why is she protecting her? It makes no sense to me, right?
Who slept with whose man?
Kelsey,
Slept with Megan's man.
Tori.
Did she?
Yeah,
Oh.
they were going together in it. That's why they were fighting in the car.
Oh, okay.
And then they were started insulting each other's careers and stuff. Remember?
Yeah, I remember the insults and stuff. But I thought it was about the white girl. What's her name?
Kylie Jenner.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was about. I thought Megan was jealous of him showing Kylie attention or something like that.
That's the story we heard originally as well.
I didn't know Kelsey.
That was one of the stories that came out.
Wait, it wasn't because he was sleeping with Kelsey?
No, apparently it was Kylie Jenner was in the mix.
But that, as in showing her attention, cool. But I thought the main thing was that he was sleeping with Kelsey. Is that not true?
No, that is what I'm saying. Originally, when it came out, that's not what came out though. Like they lived with the Kylie Jenner. That's why Emmanuel's saying.
So
that.
he's asking, oh, he didn't know that they were sleeping together. That's the most important part of all of this, surely. It not just
Kelsey
because he
thing.
was flirting with Kylie Jenner.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I didn't know about the Kelsey thing, innit? I didn't know that she was sleeping with Tory. I just heard, like, you know what I mean? What Gina just said about him being with Kylie and all of that sort of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I just thought that, you know, these were just two friends, innit? That were just there. She just happened to be there on the night. You know what I mean?
What do you think about it, Emmanuel? Do you think if it is that she is caught to be lying, that she should be excommunicated from hip hop culture?
If she's lying, so you're asking, okay, all right, just so I'm clear, right? You're saying if we find out that Megan is lying, yeah, about Tory shooting her, right?
Yes.
Which would mean she lied about everything on the Gayle King show.
No, but that's not here nor there, in my opinion.
No, but the reason why I'm saying this is because obviously you have to correct me along the way because I'm kind of doing it from memory.
When I say it's not here nor there, please forgive me for those who care about the truth. What I'm saying is that I think that it was obvious that she was lying to everybody, right? As in, I didn't sleep with Tory.
No, I'm not talking about that part, you know. So I know that was part of the interview, but what I'm saying is obviously we know why, at least based on the story, based on why she lied to the police about, or at least told the police about why that she wasn't sure she stepped in glass. All that stuff makes sense to me. I don't care about any of that stuff. I know why you would have told the police that, right? So her lying about sleeping with Tory, yeah, it makes sense. I understand why. But in the Gayle King interview, if I'm not mistaken, she also was crying and talking about, the guy shot me. He told me this when he was shooting me. All of that stuff.
Yeah.
So if it comes out she's lying about that,
Yeah.
lying about all of the whole thing, then it's more than excommunicated from the hip hop community.
Yeah.
She needs to be in jail.
And also, how about Kelsey?
So what's her role?
She shot Megan, innit?
Yeah,
In this scenario,
Yeah.
if she's lying and Tory didn't shoot her, then Kelsey did shoot her, no?
100%. So, but again, that part is just somebody you go away with a crime. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, she managed to get a good immunity deal. Yeah, she go about her business, man. She got away with it.
Okay.
That's it. But to me, if you're lying and you're crying and you're making us feel sorry for you, sympathize with you, empathize, all sorts of love we're sending your way, energy and all that stuff, and we're criminalizing his Tory, calling him an animal and all the sort of stuff, right? And he went to jail for no damn reason, almost lost his life for no damn reason.
Yeah.
Then she needs to be in jail for the exact same sentence that he got, plus a bit of interest for the stabbing he got in there. 100%.
How about if if this comes to a conclusion and they show the X-rays and they show the things that the jury saw,
Yeah.
but we didn't see, right? Because it wasn't made public.
Okay.
And it's ratified that no, he did shoot her, and there were bullet fragments in her foot, right? What should we do with all of the people that are proper, like on Tory's side right now? And what should we also do with Tory? I know he's in jail, but what should we do more?
Not you saying.
I mean, I might
What
buy
can we
records.
do?
You serious? You what?
I might start streaming his music. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you have to support him, right?
Wait, you might start streaming music?
Yeah, I was listening
Stop,
to it like that.
I said, if you find out that he's lying.
Oh, he's lying?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Oh, damn. This would have me looking crazy. Thank you for asking me again. God damn. So wait, find out he's lying.
Yeah.
And he did what?
Yeah.
So what's he done now?
This has obviously caused trouble and turmoil within the black community.
Okay,
Just,
cool.
It's even having white people get involved in stuff like the congresswoman. Shit, this ain't none of a business. You even have some of a constituent saying, "Why are you worried about this?" they're loading up the replies on her Twitter saying, "What is this? Why are you telling us about this?" So what should happen to him? What should happen to him?
To be fair, he's in prison though, isn't it?
He got stabbed up to.
You know what I'm saying?
Did you see the video? Why am I laughing?
Wow.
Stop. Did you see the video? It's crazy how it is that this got leaked though.
Video what,
I haven't seen the
stabbing?
video.
The stabbing, yeah.
Is it bad?
Serious? No, I'm not serious.
Of course it's bad.
That's diabolical.
I mean, that is a silly thing to
14
say.
times.
Oh, wow.
2 collapsed lungs.
Oh, wow.
He got head. He got
Jumped
it
in his
head
head
as well.
twice. Yeah.
Why did they do that to him, though?
I don't know.
But you know, nothing.
Apparently it was
nothing.
it was one of those essays.
Oh,
Yeah,
is
Mexican.
Yeah. Was he Mexican?
He's an essay, ain't it? Ain't
You
that?
know them man don't play either.
You know what? I don't even know what's going on right now.
It was a Spanish speaker. A bilingual
man.
fella.
Oh, I'm tired, man.
See what happens when it's here.
You know, man. Hey, listen. Maggie said, yeah. Oh my goodness, I can't get a single day. You know, when I arrested. Maggie said, I really don't get E-Man's point that he wouldn't hold Kelsey accountable if it was her. I think it proves the point that people are more focused on proving Megan to be a liar. What? Because I don't want to do the job of the bloody police and the court system. The woman got immunity. She got away with it. That's her thing. Like, the liar is the one crying. I've not heard Kelsey say a damn thing. I've heard someone cry in front of me, though, and tell me he shot me. He did this. He traumatized me. Months later, come out, write long Instagram story talking about he did this. The fact that you lot are saying this. Everything. Doubling, tripling,
Can I be
quadrupling
honest?
down.
The thing is, I'm not saying that I don't believe Megan because she said what she said in it. But if somehow, some way, it turns out, come to find out, yeah, if it gets to that moment, yeah, if it gets to that moment, I don't know what's gonna happen because
I'm telling you.
because it's a lot, you know. Anyway,
Insane.
But-
Insane.
she says what she said. I've
Yeah.
heard her. He's in jail, so we take it like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right,
And
what we saying so far, man? Go on.
Now, one question I just want to ask her. So, Maggie, if Megan is proved to be a liar based on all of this stuff, what do you think should happen to Megan specifically? Then, in a separate chat, please, a separate message to Kelsey. Then, in a separate one, if you don't mind, to Tory. That's what I want to know. Because I want to hear what that side of the world and how they think about this situation.
The thing is, on record, Kelsey basically asked, how do I not incriminate myself, innit? And why would she be saying that if not to suggest that she had some part in the shooting?
Why she say what? What do you mean? Say it again?
You listening this time?
I'm listening, but I don't get what you're
Okay.
saying.
Did you understand me?
But
You were listening either?
No, I did. You said basically. No, you're right. Kelsey said that when she was doing something, how can she not incriminate herself?
Yeah,
and you're
yeah.
saying
And
that
that was on
why would she say that if she wasn't part of the shooting? Because why would whatever she say incriminate her if she's not involved?
Why is she asking for immunity? What for? Right?
okay.
Do you understand?
Me, I understand.
And it's still saying that, obviously, she's now gone to say this guy shot her. So she's like, look, I know I shot her too. Well, I want protection for that. But I can definitely help the prosecution and say he also shot her. Do you understand?
Yeah. This is insane, you know. Like this case is really crazy.
And do you know why it's crazy? Because of the divide that's happening in the community. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like if one wins, like a whole group of men win, apparently. And if another wins, a whole group of women win. You understand? But nobody wins here.
But what's so dangerous about this, though? Yeah, I hate calling things dangerous, to be fair. But what is potentially dangerous is, like, it's going to justify. So, like, each side is going to be justified in whatever they say.
Let's tease this out. What you talking about?
It's gonna. I don't even want to go there. I don't want to put ideas into the mind of either side. But I just feel like anything that is being said.
In fact, I'm sorry. I don't know why I did that. There's visions of yesterday. Sorry, don't do that. don't tease it out.
But you get what I'm trying to say. Just basically, like, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. If this is overturned, it's gonna be crazy. You know what I'm saying? It really will be. It really will be. And I think, yeah. That's all.
So I don't think it's going to be overturned. What do you think?
Honestly, I really don't know. Like I said before, like, to me, I had my personal opinions about the situation, but I said, like most things, well, not all the things, sometimes just leave it down to court, man. You know what I'm saying? And if it proves that Tory's guilty, then he did it. So that's my position in it. So it's what it is. But if, again, they go to court and it proves he didn't do it, then I'm gonna be loud and say that the guy is not guilty. He's innocent, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't know, man.
Oh man, all right. I'll stay with it. Seeing as I'm now the Word on the Road correspondent. There's also Let
me read out what Maggie said quickly. She just said, she responded to the first thing. She said, if Megan lied on the stand, she would face perjury charges. Kelsey should be charged with assault. She said, this ain't gender politics for me. Let the assailant be held accountable. This is the most safest answer I've seen in my life. Safe, super duper safe. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean? In fact, don't answer that question. Don't answer that question again.
No, it's not. Forget it yesterday.
No. Sorry, I'm tired. Yes. There was also. Did you see the news? Gina Offset. Sorry, he's asking for money from Cardi B. That's so. How does that make you feel about Offset? Because you loved him, innit?
Asking him what capacity?
When did I tell you I loved Offset?
What?
He said he needs spousal support.
Yeah, he said he needs help.
You know what? Why not?
I just think it's interesting. Do you know what? I find it interesting. I find it so interesting because
we talked about Masandra the other day. We might be kind of leaning into this now, but let's go.
No, I just find it interesting that big Offset raindrop drop top with all your 10,000 chains saying your girls. You need spousal support.
Is that a problem?
From Miss Cardi B. I find it interesting, to be honest.
What's interesting about it?
I swear.
In fact, don't answer that question. Whispers of yesterday. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
I just find it interesting.
How about you, Manuel? You laughed. Why?
Because you know what? Sometimes things happen like this. In this world where 50-50 is the way we should go, right? Because society have said it is, right? If the man is down in his luck and he was, doing what he was doing in their marriage or whatever, in terms of providing and protecting and all the other good stuff he was doing, and now he can't live the life, right, that he was once living, I think he should be allowed to be, giving that money. Yeah, this is what happens the other way around. In 98% of the cases around the world.
All right, go
why not? Why should we change that?
I can see a vein.
Isn't it embarrassing though, Gina? Don't you think?
Be embarrassing your Range Rover, my friend.
That's why I said it's interesting.
But to say, in fact, don't say it. Why do you keep doing this?
Your bitch is bad and bougie.
I wonder how much he's asking for. Hey, have you seen Cardi B's current man on a yacht?
Man?
I think it's a boyfriend or something.
She got a new man.
Something she was seeing.
Don't know.
Like, this is what I do for Winning Road. I just throw stuff out there. If it sticks, it sticks.
No, I'm not gonna lie.
There was a guy who is black. He's got plaits, I think, dreads or something.
Okay.
And he's on a yacht and he's got coke, and he's got 3 girls around him, and apparently Cardi B was on the same boat.
So that's a man.
I'm only saying it's a man because I saw them at a basketball game, I think, like another day, an earlier day. So, what do you think about Cardi B anyway?
Cardi B's Cardi B.
She one of your slay. Ow.
I don't have a slay.
Do you like Cardi B?
She's alright, yeah.
Do you like Megan?
I don't not like her.
Do you like Megan more than Cardi B?
I don't have a... Yeah, maybe. No, I like... Do you know what? I like Megan's... I currently am enjoying her fitness journey.
Yeah.
So she's putting a lot of energy into that. And obviously that's my bag.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Fair.
Supporting her on that. You know?
All right, cool. So I think that is it for me on Wooden Road.
Thank you, Jesus. Sorry.
Why are you calling his name in vain?
I'm saying I can't say thank you, Jesus. How's that calling his name in vain? I can't give thanks to the Lord.
To be honest, you did do it in the right way.
Exactly.
I shouldn't be doing this segment.
You shouldn't. Just making us suffer. You didn't even want it to be short. Just dragging it on.
All right. Emmanuel.
Headlines and that.
Yes, headlines.
Me?
Yeah, I just said Emmanuel.
For
You guys butchered my segment. What the hell? And I'm gonna tell you, I will create a binder today so I can sort this episode. So when I'm having a meeting with Steven, I can say my contract reflects the work that I do. Anyway.
oh god.
Sorry, let me catch up quickly. Tory is not getting out of jail. My dying breath. If I only have one thing to say today, Tory's not getting out of jail. I think with like his charges, he's actually charged as well for assaulting her. Like he's charged for the possession of the gun, but also committing an assault with the gun. So there's that. Offset is embarrassing. Offset is embarrassing. Offset is embarrassing.
Asking for money.
Do you know what? I don't mind him asking for money if he was the one who was caring for the children. Because I think that if you're going to be the primary caretaker of the children, then I think absolutely. Like I don't think child support should be enough because you're like the way you're going to be able to work and stuff is going to be impacted. So if he was the one who had primary control of the kids, then absolutely he should get child support and he should get spousal support. But he's not.
So what are we really doing here?
So I don't know what he's
What
doing.
happened with what's his name? Sorry.
Not Mary J. Blige's man.
That one.
No, he's an embarrassment to society.
But he still got the money.
Yeah, the judge. I don't know what judge it was they hired for that case.
Yeah.
But that was embarrassing because you
Offset.
really put that woman through the hell you did. Cheated up, right, left, center, a bad manager and whatnot, only to then come and have no shame and demand money.
Do you think he sleeps well at night?
Yes.
Who?
Yes.
No, because you know what?
You know, foolish men sleep so they're drooling and the
How
snoring,
can you be
Gina.
a bad person, yeah? Like, I don't know, man.
Gina, do you know people that sleep the best?
Wicked people, innit?
I can't remember what video did I see, and it was actually a video. Oh no, I'm rewatching Power. Right, as in the original one, right? And spoiler alert, but it's happened years ago, right?
I've
It's the
done
one
this.
after Raina died, right?
Oh, and Ghost.
So, yeah, because you know when you have to wait for a week by week, sometimes you forget things. So I'm taking in a lot more than I did first
Before,
time, right?
yeah.
So this is after Raina's died, and we know why Raina died. We died because of that big head boy, right?
Tariq.
One of the nights here, one of the scenes, Tasha is up at night in Raina's like wailing in her room. Tariq was sleeping good.
Of course he was.
Tariq was sleeping really well. So yeah, people are wicked. They sleep really well. Fine on medium and everything. Butt out. Those people kind of people that sleep naked as well. Just butt out, vulnerable, unprepared. Couldn't get burgled in the middle of the night. Penis off first. It's crazy. So anyway, yeah, that was yeah.
All right, there's a Monique. A Monique.
Oh yeah,
and
so
Son reconcile stuff.
a while ago, I think it was last year. I talked about Monique. Remember when Monique's son came online and basically was calling her out to be a bad mother, saying that she was controlling, she's this, all these kind of things. Well, essentially they've made up. Well, we know they've made up because her son came on TikTok or released a video basically apologizing to the family. And at first I thought, oh, this is lovely, like, because I saw screenshots of the pictures of her playing with her grandchildren and him being at the house. Like, it looks very wholesome. But upon further investigations,
Come to find out.
I think that man is brainwashed. So basically, when I watched the video, I think obviously Monique is rich and whatever else, right? And one thing we know about Monique, if nothing else, is that woman demands and likes a public apology. And basically the video is giving that. Like the things he's saying, he's reading out first. He's not speaking from the heart. He's clearly reading something because he makes a mistake. He's like, oh, sorry. Then he goes on to continue reading, right? And he's basically saying that he should have never put the family's business out there. And essentially he embarrassed the family. And also he's making comments about the thing that people say about Monique. You know that the whole thing about she's difficult to work with, blah blah blah. He references Precious and saying, you guys saying that she's the character she portrayed in Precious. She's not. But then he's also like, I should have never brought my business because if I didn't bring the business, then you guys wouldn't feel comfortable enough to say that kind of stuff. Then he's like, listen to things that she does, like, I've seen her baking brownies with the kids, and she makes my daughter's food from scratch. Anyway, the comments are saying blink twice if you need some help. That's what the comments are. The comments are saying to the man. I think it's and he also blames saying he had like a poor mental health last year, which is why and that's how you say that. I hate when people say, I've got mental health. So I know you throw up. Actually, it pisses me off. Anyway, so he said he had poor mental health last year, which is also what contributed to that. And he shouldn't have put the family business out there. And then at the end of the video, he goes on to show the pictures I was talking about of like the family moments together. And I was trying to peep what tops are being worn, see if it's different days. A lot of them look like the same day. Anyway. Oh, yes. Prince Fink says, big up Esther. My girlfriend Temi said, thank you for the shout out. That's the lovely girl I said I met at the wedding. Big up, y'all. So Monique her son. I mean, I think it's nice that the family is reconciled. It's lovely anyway, but I just hope that it's coming from a genuine place and not from my mum's got the purse. And I feel like, do you know what I mean? Like, not from a manipulative way or place, but I definitely do think the guy should blink twice if he does need help. I think that was Diggity. He's obviously he's in jail at the moment for what was it, 50 something of weed? It's like 50 kilos or something of weed or something like that. And then, cut long story short, he was also driving his Lambo in St. Pancras, like King's Cross. So that's like the most central place to get caught for farting, even. Anyway, he was up there. Cut long story short, while he's in jail, he's been convicted for that as well. But yeah. Well, Brent, you did a good job, Brent.
Thank you.
You did. The breakdown for the Tory and Meghan thing.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
You could do it more.
I still feel as though I still feel as though he's gonna stay there. I think he's gonna stay there. He has to stay there. I haven't seen anything.
There's nothing convincing because even her lawyers are like, okay, what's the story then? Because you keep saying different things. And the thing with Kelsey as well. Yes, Kelsey eventually then asked for immunity or whatever the case is, but initially she also was saying it's Tory. She also said it was Tory. She had messages that said it was Tory. So she's the one who picked up the call, and he called Kelsey to plead to Meghan. Yeah. Do you get me? So and I don't know what man that is like Tory Lanez, not a nobleman, but a man like Tory Lanez who is going to jail for 10 years.
Not happening. Because
he also tried to say the gun was his security guards. Because he knew he shouldn't be in possession of a gun because he knew that he was on probation. I don't see why on earth he would be going to jail. And my thing is that, so if he did go to jail for Kelsey, because he's on a no snitching policy, it's okay to snitch behind bars now. Because what's that guy with the green, pink and blue rainbow colour hairs? 6ix9ine. Yeah, when he was doing it, people were out here calling him a rat and jump. Girl, when you get jumped a few times in the bathroom, you go quiet. Like, do you get me? So I don't see how if he was trying to be noble and whatever and not snitch, why is it okay now to snitch behind closed doors? And that white woman, her followers are right. Mind your business. Do your state have clean water? Is the homelessness rife in there? And you're worried about Meghan and what's it called?
It's so weird that she's so fixated on this. It's so interesting.
But then the thing about you said about her coming out of the car twice, she said that in a documentary that they were arguing the first time or whatever, and then she came out of the car, and then they basically told her to stop being stupid, get back in the car. So she got back in the car, and then She got back the second time. Second time is when she said they were fuming and blah, 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 and then he shot her.
And that's the thing about it. For me, if there's blood in the car, if there's blood on the suitcase, if there's blood on Kelsey's leg, that means she was bleeding when she got back into the car.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Because when the police stopped them the second time.
There was a trail.
Yes, there was a trail.
Yeah.
So even if it is she did quote unquote step on any bottle,
I think it
she
would
was
have
still
been first
bleeding
time.
before.
Yeah,
Do you
exactly.
understand?
Yeah, I feel like the first time would have been if she did step on anything. The first time would have been her stepping on the glass. Second time would have been when she got shot. But the thing is though, when she got shot,
No,
the glass thing.
That first time her stepping on the glass. I mean, the video that we see where she
Yeah.
steps on the glass is when the police basically tell her to, all right, walk back.
But I think she was already shot. She was already shot then.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But I think the glass thing. I don't know where this glass thing is coming from, but the glass thing came because she told the police she stepped on glass.
Yes, but there was also a bottle, and the in one of the videos, one of the police officers said that there is a bottle that was there. She maybe have stepped on it.
Yeah, but how someone stepping on a bottle and you're breaking the bottle? What kind of bottle was it?
No, that can happen.
What kind of bottle?
And plus,
it
just
can't be
under
any
the bottle,
bottle.
there was the contents of the bottle was now on the ground. Do you understand? It was damp and wet.
So she was marching then. She didn't step on the bottle. She would have to march on the bottle.
She's quite
She's a stallion, but bloody hell, that's
I didn't want to say
Goliath.
that, but yeah.
It's giving Goliath. I'm sorry.
When you've basically, because it's physics, isn't it? When it is that you've, and it's also gravity. When it is that you've,
Sure, Mr. Brent. Go on. Yes, sir.
when you stepped out of a higher, platform, yeah,
Of course.
with weight coming, bang, you could understand that.
So the glass was right by the door.
The bottle was.
The
And
bottle-
that's only
the
because
bottle was by the door.
it was seen in the video. Do you
Okay,
understand?
fair.
And it was a close up of it.
And where's this video from? Because now we've got AI videos.
The police
body cam.
cameras. Yeah.
Oh, okay, fair.
Quite a few of them was from the police body cam.
Yes.
Even the conversation that they had with the guy, where he was kind of elevated. I think he was on the second floor or something, whatever.
Yeah.
He was saying that I saw the two girls fighting. The one in front was there kicking, and then that's when it is that the one of them took a shot. But it sounded that he was saying that the shot was shot inside of the bloody car. Do you understand?
Is it?
Yeah. And then he was asked, all right, so after the shot, is that when you then saw the smaller man? I laughed when it is that kind of.
I think it's mad though because people really want. I mean, leprechaun kind of thing. I think it's crazy though
I'm
because
not
people
hygiene.
really want. That's fine. I don't mind to do that today. I think it's funny that people really want her to be a liar. But the thing is though, like from what it is that we have so far, he's a liar. Because she said she protected him. She lied because she said that was around the George Floyd thing. And then she told the police that I stepped on glass, it wasn't that. The doctors were the one who were like, there's bullet fragment here, and then passed the case on to the police because it's not glass that's in this foot, it's that. And even then, she's still trying to be quiet. But then he goes on live, on Instagram live, when he's in quarantine, all of that stuff, taunting her. So it's like, I don't understand how people want her to be a liar so bad, but then everything that we've seen so far has made him out to be a liar. But then it sounds as though if she is caught to be a liar, it sounds as though like she must be damned to hell. But then with the current information that we have about him, he's not currently being damned to hell. And if we then find out, but I don't think it will ever get to a point where people will be like, yes, she's right. Because already, currently, with the case, with everything that's going on, she is right. But she's still not getting the empathy. So I don't think she's ever going to get more empathy than she's currently getting. And I don't think he's ever going to face any repercussions for anything that he did outside of just being in prison.
I think
Wild.
I think there might be an answer to this that serves your need for empathy for her more.
Yeah.
Only because this congresswoman isn't letting up, right? And it has stirred up a lot of debate off the back of that. So much so that they are calling her a liar. And connected to her is Rock Nation.
Yeah.
And that isn't going to go away. Do you understand? A lot of people believe that the videos that they have seen and heard is enough evidence to basically call this man an innocent man that's been incarcerated. So I don't think it's just going to go away until it's some foolproof proof is released. And I think it would be, here are the x-rays and here are the bullet fragments. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And I think that's what's going to be.
You say that though, but you know what? I don't think that's going to make a difference because the doctors are the ones who have said that. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, she's not the one who said there's bullet fragments in my foot. Like, the professionals are the ones that have said that. So I think that even with professional evidence, even if the doctor who actually did it comes out and says it, I still don't believe people are going to. I just don't think they're gonna believe her.
The narrative that's going around is that there's also a video of her speaking to one of the
officers.
Was it the officers or was it the medical staff?
Or was she saying, "Are we gonna go to jail?"
No, in hospital as she's laid up.
Yeah.
And I think they also took a picture of her foot.
Yeah.
And the narrative is that the laceration that was on her foot, the doctor that stitched her up, said it was shallow and there was no deep.
Yeah.
And once obviously people are thinking, well, if it is, she got
so
shot, it should be deep.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it is that she got shot with the bullet as opposed to the bullet hit the cement and the fragments went into her foot. Do you understand?
Okay, yeah.
So,
but you know the mad thing though, because either way she was shot at.
Yeah.
Whether it's like the cement or the sand or the granite, wherever the components are for the flipping ground, whatever the case is, she was still shot at. And I think that's what's so wild, because there's no. What do you mean how can you possibly say there's an innocent man in jail when that innocent man was armed?
Yeah.
And he knew himself, though, personally, he shouldn't be armed.
Yeah.
He knew he shouldn't have had a gun.
Yeah.
So even if, like, we're taking that away, he still cannot be an innocent man in jail because he still broke the law. Like, it's so wild.
It is very interesting that none of his DNA was on the gun, though. And maybe he was, I don't know, wearing a glove or something.
But remember he said he was trying to tussle, because at one point, one of his stories, because he said so much now, that he was tussling with Kelsey for the gun.
Yeah.
And that's where it accidentally shot itself.
Yeah. So, is that what he said in court?
That's one of the things that they've said.
So
his team.
That means that he did snitch on Kelsey in court then.
He did what?
He did snitch on Kelsey.
Well,
like him saying that he wanted to basically protect Kelsey from going in jail. But it sounds as though he did say it or suggest that it was Kelsey that shot.
Do you know what's crazy as well? I don't know how you can say you're innocent, and you know that you're looking at 10 years for a woman that did the crime that you didn't do, but you don't at the very least go understand. Anyway. Also, his lungs did not collapse. I'm sorry. No one can sell that to me. 2 lungs collapse. To be fair, actually, they do say the wicked live long. Perhaps it did collapse. Because what do you mean two lungs collapsed? You were stabbed that many times, 2 lungs collapsed, and within 24 hours, you're back up, rising.
Well, we did watch Sinners, and Emmanuel did say that we shouldn't sleep on. You right?
No, because he watched it now. Okay, no, it's fine.
We had a whole conversation.
Oh yeah, he wasn't here.
No.
Oh no, you weren't. No.
We told everybody that you rated it 4 or 5.
Yeah, I did.
You did.
Yeah. We didn't agree with you.
That's fine. I said what I said.
But you weren't here to defend your.
I know that's
I don't
right.
need to. I do
Can you
crazy.
let us know why it is that you rated it 4?
Why you went with that verse?
I said what I said when I said it, and I don't need to go back. And
No, I'm just saying the
That'll
people
do it.
obviously they miss you. They wanted to hear your views, your opinions on Sinners, and you're not hearing it.
I'd rated it a 5. Again, it's not something that I'd. Do you know what? The other day I was thinking about it, and I was like, the only reason why I'd watch it again is because Michael B. Jordan's fine. That's the only.
I just feel like he did that one didn't give him that.
Nah, I was seeing him twice as well.
He is a gorgeous man.
Wahalard. Oh, what a good looking man.
Nice.
He is very good looking.
Well, as I was saying, Emmanuel was telling us the benefits of certain practices of African spirituality, i.e. the protection spell.
Oh, you think Tory's got that?
Well, maybe. I mean, surely
It
right
does
now.
give me that vibe.
I don't think so.
No?
It gives me that
I don't
vibe.
think so.
His dad out
What,
there
that he's got
shouting
it?
at that. Yeah, it gives that vibe.
But wasn't his dad talking about Jesus though?
Nah, that's a Rock Nation, you will crumble.
Plus, Tory's
Actually, yeah, he
Muslim
did
now,
say
innit?
he swears, but then you know people
Oh,
say
he's
God
Muslim
anything
now?
anyway.
Yeah.
He was a Muslim before.
No,
He's Muslim now.
Yeah.
I told you the
he's
pipeline.
been
I
in
bet he's in
jail.
therapy too, right? He's probably in therapy.
Probably.
Oh, more than likely. He's in therapy and he's gonna be doing some community. Because you know, like people that problematic people. There's a line they go. They either go Christianity. When that allegation is building up, they're Christians. They're in therapy. They take accountability, but they always remind you that nobody's perfect, right? But when things are getting very, very serious, like back us up against the wall. Then they turn to Islam to show like how really committed they are, and then like to get the brother certification. Maggie says the DNA was inconclusive. I wish we wouldn't repeat Tory lies.
So the information that came out from the Congresswoman, she basically stated that there was no DNA on the gun that matched Tory's. So I'm just repeating what that particular Congresswoman dropped, and it's all over the internet. So that's all I'm doing.
Yeah, but to be fair though, I think obviously I never heard what the Congresswoman said, but I think Tory himself said it was inconclusive. In those texts that he was sending to the light skinned guy. What's his name? Is it Jason Lee?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, him. I think Tory said to him, "Oh yeah, the test proved it was inconclusive." You know what I mean? So.
All right, so we'll keep over it, and let's get on to the next headline.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Nelson Mandela's funeral.
No, I don't.
Basically, they had a sign. What are they called? Sign language person, right? For Nelson Mandela's funeral. Gina, this man didn't know a damn thing. The people that are meant to benefit from the sign had to call and be like, "What the hell? What's going on?" This uncle just made it up.
Just taking a job that you're not qualified for. Just trying to take.
You lied on the CV. And then do you ever see that video when Waka Flocka was performing? And there's a woman doing sign language, but he thought she was like vibing to music. He was like,
"No, Emmanuel, you're going to hell."
I was just trying
to be crazy, man.
No.
Man said,
you did it with confidence. I thought, what are you writing? Like you're scribing.
But didn't you hear what he was doing with his mouth whilst he was doing that?
No, what was he doing?
Were you mouthing what you were saying?
You should have heard him. Obviously, the thing was off in it, so nobody heard him. But I said,
this guy wants to start trouble again.
Do you know, by the way, you didn't even try, Brent. You didn't even attempt. You didn't even try.
Oh, man.
I dared you and everything.
No, because the thing is, right? And I asked anybody who I love, I basically asked them, like, how do you perceive me? And if it is you don't want me to, I know I entertain a lot. Do you understand?
Yeah, you do.
And I literally go on record to say, look, you're gonna have to get a lot of me to know how to discern when I'm lying and when I'm not lying, right? Lying for entertainment or basically, whatever. But I would never look to walk into a relationship with that particular spirit. Do you understand?
Do you know what's kidding me? You're a waffler. What are you talking about? What? What?
What did you get from what I said?
Nothing was said.
Nothing. Nothing.
You said
I'm not looking to walk into a relationship.
You said all of it.
I've literally got two things I want to join.
You don't know what to do. But so you were basically trying to get us to help you fill in the gaps.
And you know what's I could see in your eyes for a second. I could see in his eyes that he was chatting shit, but he was just like, "Okay, she's nothing. Let me carry on." Wait a minute.
All right. Let me be clear.
Esther called you out, boy.
Let me be clear.
Apparently, I do that
if
too
I'm
much.
in a relationship, I do not practice these lies to them. Do you understand? I don't lie to my partner.
Do you know it's giving?
But you've never been in a relationship.
I have.
Oh, the one.
Yeah, but do you know it's giving though?
Why
Is
like one shaming.
I'm not one shaming. Why have you got tears in your eyes? Laughing so hard at your own joke. Loser.
Because you're a wicked man.
You're a loser.
Furthermore, the question I asked you and the answer you gave me has nothing to do with anything. It sounds as though you got in trouble yesterday with somebody.
So you see how your man
so now here you are.
Good. What really happened was something happened yesterday.
Yeah, I bet it did.
But I wanted to communicate something,
Yeah.
right? And I was like, I shouldn't be communicating this.
Yeah,
So
because you're just told off.
No, you need help. You need saving. You need saving.
Emmanuel, please tell us something. Something going on in the world.
The thing came off in it. So if it is that you wanted
Yeah.
to join the Discord, I need to basically restart it. If you want me to restart it.
I mean, the time.
No, you
doesn't
really
permit.
have
does not
Brent here.
permit.
You know what I mean?
All right,
Bro,
No, guys, Brent is crying
Like-
right now. You're having the time of your life.
Can't believe it. What you say?
Lose, because I could have been loser. You said loser.
Loser.
All right, go.
All right, so trigger warning on this one, people. Trigger warning. Andrew and Tristan Tate will return to the UK to face 21 criminal charges once proceedings against them in Romania have concluded. This is what their lawyer has said. The CPS, the Crown Prosecution Service, said on Wednesday that it had authorised charges including rape, actual bodily harm, and human trafficking against the brothers in 2024 before an extradition warrant was issued to bring them back from Romania. Authorities in Romania are investigating the two British Americans in a separate case in relation to a number of charges which they deny. In a statement on Thursday, lawyers for the Tates said that once those proceedings are concluded in their entirety, then they will return to face UK allegations. Previously, the brothers' legal representatives said that the UK allegations dated back to between 2012 and 2015. At the time of an arrest warrant obtained by Bedfordshire Police in March 2024, the Tates said that they categorically reject all charges and were very innocent men. Next headline, and trigger one, definitely big trigger one on this one, is about the Diddy case. So a former assistant, by the way, have you been seeing, you know, one of the guys from Day 20, what was it, 28?
Yes.
26.
I talked about that.
26?
You said 28.
28.
Day
I was going to
20.
say 21, you know.
Yes, Brent, you did mention it.
Yeah.
So Brent was basically talking about the Vlad TV interview. I didn't want to
Yeah.
watch it at all, but because of the situation, I thought, you know what,
yeah.
let me watch it.
Research.
You know what I'm saying? I have to, unfortunately. Not going back there again. But anyway, I watched it now. And it was sad.
Very sad.
Brent didn't exaggerate. Because Brent was like, oh, all of them was crying.
They all cried.
Oh, I think I know what video you took. It's a group, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I know which one you took. And like, yeah, I think I know. It was horrible.
I just figured this guy, you know, he's just Brent being Brent, innit? I just thought maybe one guy cried and another person just...
See, it's hard to tell when
You
Brent's
know what
telling
I'm
the
saying?
truth. Because he was actually telling the truth about that one. Yeah, it's tricky.
They all had to stop. They all got up.
Yeah, it was horrible.
You know what I'm saying?
Is he one of the witnesses?
No. So he's talking about the case though now.
Oh,
So
okay.
basically in that interview, for those who don't know, yeah, he basically said,
Is it trigger warning?
yeah, trigger everything. Trigger on this one.
I thought when Diddy's name is mentioned, trigger
Yeah,
warning.
100%. So he basically was saying, you know what, like he doesn't, I think prior to this, in fact, there was an interview he did with Vlad TV
Yeah.
before. And in like basically online, they've showed like a clip of that first interview, maybe like a couple years back. And you can see how awkward he is whenever they're talking about Diddy. He doesn't say anything. In this interview now, the one that Brent's talking about, what we're talking about now, he basically now talks. And he basically says, without saying particular details, that basically something was going on and it's not just Diddy. Other people was complicit. Other people made it occur. You know what I'm saying? And the people understand, as in, I think it was the particular guy that was on the stand talking about it. He said, I got an email from you explaining X, Y, Z. You lot didn't care about the trauma I faced when I was reading this email. You lot didn't care about X, Y, and Z when you know what I'm saying? And basically he wasn't going into detail because I was trying to figure out, what are you talking about? What happened? You know what I'm saying? And like you could just tell it was something crazy. And he said, all I can say is it felt sacrificial. That's what he kept saying in that Vlad TV thing. Yeah, it felt sacrificial. And the more he said it, obviously he started breaking up. And obviously his teammates, sorry, what are they called?
Bandmates.
Thank you. His bandmates now, obviously know the details.
Yeah.
So that's why they started crying in it because I feel like they just
That's
obviously know
horrible,
he's
you
going
know.
back to whatever happened
Like
that
it's
day.
taking him back there.
You know what I'm saying? Long story short though, that's gone. I heard now he's now spoke up a bit more now. So I think either he was on or he called into or responded to what's that white girl, Aubrey Day?
Oh yes, Aubrey.
Yeah, so she's got a podcast or something, innit?
Yeah.
Where she's talking about the case or something like that. So he basically responds and basically says, listen, the Dawn Richards woman that you're hearing about,
Yeah.
who's what group is she part of?
She was Dirty Money.
That's the one. The one that's accusing Diddy of all this stuff, that was my ex-girlfriend during the time. She's just as bad.
What?
Really?
I'm telling you.
Dawn.
Yes. Do you know what he said? He said she facilitated me getting drugged. So basically he spoke about the same situation in more detail now.
Yeah.
He said, what happened? I think he was basically saying Diddy gave her the drugs or whoever the situation, whoever's in control of the situation, gave her the drugs. She called him down to the event or whatever. Got him to take the drugs, as in putting in his drink or whatever.
Yeah.
He now is 15 minutes later, he's out of his head. Doesn't know anything that happened till the next morning. He wakes up and he's just like he's screaming. He's like, stuff has happened to him. He knows stuff has happened to him, but he hasn't gone into the detail about what the stuff is.
It reminds me
And
of
he's
that
saying
film.
it's her.
Blink Twice.
Is that what it's called?
The one with Channing Tatum.
Yeah. Oh my days.
It's
The
a film.
is
Apparently,
nuts.
it's based on. Who told me this?
What's the guy that had the island?
Epstein.
Epstein. Yeah. It's based
But
on
someone
that.
was telling me it was based on Diddy as well.
Wait, it's
Maybe
crazy.
it's my lash girl. I think it's my lash babe. Hey girl, just watching the show. But that show. No, it's a film. Watch it. It's basically these things. Like this Epstein stuff we're hearing, this Diddy stuff we're hearing is basically that. It's very
well.
mad.
Huh? It's done well.
The right?
What's that, man?
Yeah,
The film, right?
Yeah.
Because I remember I watched it on the plane, back in December, and I was going to Nigeria. And then I didn't finish it. I think I fell asleep or whatever. So I just never went back to it. So this time was when I finished it and I said,
No, the film is
what
nuts.
the hell? Like, it was mad.
And what's
Mad.
mad is, I think, let me know.
Yeah, it's called
People are
Blink
gonna-
Twice
people are
anyway.
gonna cry about spoilers, but it's a good watch, especially where those things actually exist.
And I think
It's not far fetched.
And I think because we're seeing cases of these things now that it's really not far fetched.
Do you know what?
Sodomy.
I was gonna say, like, you see power and money, because I feel like that's where it
Scary,
stems
man.
from. It's
scary.
It's
Scary.
mad.
Scary. They say the love of money is root of all evil. And mom was telling me about some Nigerian man. Yeah, he's like proper. I can't remember his name now, but very stupid wealthy, like crazy wealthy. He tried to leave. They caught him at the border yesterday. Tried to leave or whatever. They found out. Yeah, so basically he does like money rituals, all that kind of stuff. They went to he's got a cellar in his house. So, trigger warning again, right? Do you know what they found? They found like 72 pregnant women there. There was men there, as in like, it's a whole thing. And then there was a video, so because the video she was watching, I think Mayegon was talking about it, and one of the videos was that he was at an event and he was throwing money. If you see the way money was on the floor, money and power, the love of money. Jesus tried to tell y'all,
It's a damn shame.
the love of money is scary. What people are doing. Poor guy, man, that's horrible. That's so traumatic. But that's the thing with the Dawn thing, because she testified as well.
Yeah.
And she said that she's a victim of Diddy, and I think that's where it's just so sad, because victims then can end up being somebody else's.
You know when they say hurt people.
Yeah, because like
It's a
when people talk
cycle.
about the whole allegedly Usher and Justin Bieber thing, and people say that allegedly Diddy did something to Usher, then allegedly Usher then put Justin Bieber in that. It's horrible, man. I wonder why he didn't testify though. Probably, yeah.
It's a lot for him, you know. Like the way he's
It's horrible.
struggling
It's horrible.
to.
It's horrible.
And obviously she's responded now. She said that's a lie. She's saying that's
You
a
don't?
lie. Yeah. That's a lie. None of this occurred. The timelines don't match up. But this man's saying
you know how
categorically.
I don't believe in. I believe in abuse victims first, child. So don't, girl.
Like he was very like.
You can tell that he's literally like he's broken by it.
It's a damn shame. He said he now has to take. What was he saying in the interview with Vlad? He now has to take an injection or something every month for the rest of his life.
Antidepressant.
Yeah, something.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, something. Anyway, I'm not sure
Poor
what
guy,
it is,
man.
but he said I have to do it every month for the rest of my life.
Yeah, Diddy can. I don't. He's not gonna get away with it anyway. But I just don't want him to die before he serves his time. I want him to like double punishment. Do some here, do some over there.
It's a damn shame. But yes, that was all to basically introduce this next part, right? Which is that a former assistant of Diddy's has told a New York court that he repeatedly sexually assaulted her while she was employed by him for 8 years. So the witness, who goes anonymously but under the pseudonym Maya, also tearfully said that she lived in fear of violent rages from Diddy as she worked by side. She said, Diddy, 55 years old, has pleaded not guilty to federal charges of racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. She said, I couldn't tell him no about a sandwich. I couldn't tell him no about anything. Diddy's legal team has not yet had the chance to question Mia or respond to her claims. She's the second witness in a New York trial to allege that Mr. Combs sexually abused her, along with, Cassie as well. Mia testified that she started working for Diddy as a personal assistant back in 2009 when she was in her mid-20s, joining what she described as a chaotic and toxic work environment. And our last headline takes us to France, where France will ban smoking in all outdoor places that can be frequented by children. And that's what the Health and Family Minister, Catherine Vautrin, has said. The ban basically will come into force on the 1st of July and will include beaches, parks, public gardens, outside schools, bus stops, sports venues, all of that stuff. She said tobacco must disappear when there are children, added that the freedom to smoke must end where the freedom of children to breathe fresh air begins. And yeah, man, there's going to be a fine as well of €135. And that's it for the headlines. Time to pay them bills.
Thank you. Is that the last headline?
Nah, that isn't, you know.
You want to introduce the topic of the day?
Yeah, let's go to the topic of the day. Yep, we back. All right, people. So today's topic of the day, it's not going to be a long one, obviously. And Brent, there's a clip I want you to play first, if you don't mind. Mm-hmm. Just play it as soon as you're ready. But basically, this is just about being shipped back home, right? And now it seems as though a lot of the kids who've been taken back home are now.
Are they banding together?
Huh? I don't know if there's a secret group chat or whatever, but now they're trying to bring the courts into it to stop their parents in it.
Shut up. So. You know, I'll be honest with you. Yeah. This is how I know I'm not ready to be a parent. Because there's certain things that parents talk about. I'm just like, I'll throw away the kid. Like,
not throw away your
like,
child.
Take the child. Go then. Like, I'm sorry, but if I'm doing the best I can for this child that I'm under obligation to raise and whatever, and I've had to send you back home to get some discipline down, yeah, because over here, clearly you can't. Then you're over there contacting courts and whatnot, saying that go into care then. Like, go. Sometimes some parents deal with it. I'm like, you're going to run your parent mad. For what? Because you had a child. Am I the first to have a child? Anyway. What are these kids doing now?
Let's see. Brent.
If you were told you were going on holiday or visiting a relative, but in reality you were being sent to a boarding school abroad. Well, a lawyer has told this programme he's seeing more young people taking action against their parents for just that, being sent abroad against their will. It's a practice known as shipping back, when teens born and raised here in the UK are moved to their parents' native countries. Rebecca Bagoro has this special report.
At 12 years old, Marvin boarded a flight from England to Uganda thinking he was going to be a page boy at a family wedding. But there was no wedding and no return ticket. He'd been misbehaving, so his dad secretly planned to send him to a boarding school abroad for good.
Oh my gosh, I was so angry at my dad. Like, I hated him. I hated him so much because I felt so deceived. The fact that they went through the lengths to lie to me that I'm going to be a page boy at a wedding, giving me the money, making me buy a suit that I'm never going to get to wear. They removed me from an environment I'm used to and taking me straight into boarding school, which the first day when I got there looked like a prison.
Born and raised in the UK, boarding school in Uganda was a total shock to Marvin. He describes being caned by teachers who were strict, almost like soldiers. But his dad said he had no choice but to deceive Marvin into going.
I knew what will happen if I tell him the truth.
Thank you very much, Uncle.
Yeah. I knew definitely he was not going to accept it. He could even have screamed at the airport. So I wanted the best for him. And I said, no, we will do it.
It's a decision Marvin now appreciates.
It saved my life. If my dad had never taken me to Uganda, I either probably would have been in prison or maybe even dead.
But not every story ends the same. Earlier this year, a 14-year-old schoolboy took his own parents to court for tricking him into going to Ghana, saying he was visiting a sick relative. The court ruled in the parents' favour, but the boy will appeal the decision in June.
Anecdotally, we're definitely seeing more and more cases coming through the doors where this is a real issue. Thankfully, he was in touch with lawyers very, very swiftly. Others, years elapse, and they're just stuck where they are with no recourse, no way to get out.
This boy, who remains anonymous because of his age, was successfully able to sue and now doesn't speak with his father.
It felt like the right thing has been done. Like, I was treated unfairly, and it was a way of showing that what he did wasn't something other people should be doing. It was stressful. It was like unexpected and hella complicated. Like, in a way where I was there, I didn't know how this all happened, and it just happened fast.
Decisions made with good intentions can still land badly. Now kids are standing up, demanding a say in their own lives. Rebecca Bagoro, 5 News.
Now, how...
That's so interesting.
It's annoying as heck, bro.
It's interesting because my only experience with this is via you. And you were sent back because you were disobedient. Over and over and over and over again.
Allegedly. I was a good kid, man.
So why did you get sent back?
For vibes.
Yes. I'm not too sure, man.
How long were you back there for?
To you were a good kid.
No.
No, but how long was he back there for, Brent?
No. Please be honest with this, right? This conversation.
Yeah, we don't have much time though, but we will get into it.
I can make time.
Crazy.
But how long did you go back there for?
About almost 3 years.
So you were just there for 3 years for vibes? A 3-year long holiday?
Well, you know.
I think being a parent is hard, man. Like,
it is.
It's hard. Like, honestly, it's hard because it's hard. Like, I get that there's situations where obviously kids are maltreated, they're abused, and blah, blah, blah. I understand. I'm not against fighting for that.
Yeah.
But I think that, I mean, I'm glad Marvin's story was different because I was going to cuss him at the end of the video. So thank God for patience in that. But I just think, I think being a parent is difficult. And I'm glad that in some cases the courts are seeing, like, they're siding with the parents. Because all that's going to happen is they're going to take you from your parents, put you in the care system, and the chance of you being a statistic is higher than you being a success story. Do you get what I mean?
100%.
It's horrible. I can't imagine what parents are having to deal with when it comes to like, disciplining their children and all that kind. And you can be the best parent in the world, but if your child is just what they are,
100%.
it don't matter how much what you do. And I think from the situations that I've heard, I don't think that a kid is disobedient one time and the parents are like, oh, well, off you go then. It's like the final straw. This is it now. Like, I have run out of any ideas. I've run out of things I can do. This is all there is to do. And I've had situations where one parent has to then leave.
Yeah.
We have to leave a good job, leave whatever it is that we're doing here because you just want to be an annoying ass deviant.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I can't imagine having to go to court and deal with all of that stuff. I told you guys what I would do.
I think the thing
Take the
is,
child.
times are changing it, and obviously kids have a lot more rights and have more of a voice now compared to us growing up. But I guess my question to you, Emmanuel, is: did you resent your parents for sending you back?
No.
And even if you, because my thing
Do you understand why they took you back?
I wanna. This is what I'm saying exactly. So I feel like 9 times out of 10, you know that no one's parent uproots you for no reason.
Yeah.
Bro.
Like, let's be real. Your mum and dad are never gonna like take you away from them for no reason. Like, you have to take accountability. But as a child, kids don't know how to take accountability.
Yeah.
So I feel like, you see, with these kids that are like going this mile, it's because of like,
it's what they've been told that they have the right to do.
right?
Yeah.
But then when they get older, my thing is, when you get older, are you not going to sit back and reflect? And when you become a parent, then be like, you know what? I get it. Because if you're like a bad breed child and you're like your life is going in one direction, so I'm basically meant to just sit and watch you potentially not come home one day.
Do you know what's crazy though? Because and the thing is, as much as I have the chance I have, I also don't expect much from kids. Because their brain is not developed in the way. So like when you were younger, your parents tell you, "Don't do this because X." I just think you are so dramatic, but that's the reality. Like that's how your bad behavior or disobedience or whatever can actually progress before you know it very quickly. Do you get what I mean? But as a child, you don't see beyond what it is that you want. You don't see beyond. I want to go out with my friends. I want to stay out late. You don't think of all the dangers that are out there.
You don't.
Because
I didn't.
Do you know what I mean?
I
You just don't.
mad when I was. Sorry.
What's it called? My 4K says, how are we making a child responsible for dysfunction like this? Come on. But it goes back to what I said. There's some kids, the seed in them.
What do you mean?
To Emmanuel, right? So I take that this guy is implying that it's your parents' fault that you were misbehaved.
That you're a bad breed.
Yeah. If I'm
Bad breed is harsh. Sorry.
mischaracterizing this
Take that
comment,
back.
please let me know. Right.
I think that's what he's saying. I can get that as well.
But
I don't
with you,
know.
Emmanuel,
Yeah.
would you? Is it your parents' fault that you were not doing what you were supposed to
Absolutely
do?
not. Absolutely not. The reality is, yeah, a lot of us, obviously, when we've come here, we brought up in certain areas, innit? These areas are not good areas. It's that simple. You know
No,
what
but
I'm saying?
and my thing is, yeah, like, I'm so sorry, but unless you have, and let's be honest, right? Especially us that are older, right, and we can speak. Our parents didn't have time for us when we were kids. So you're not not coming in from school and having a relationship with your
There you
parent.
go, yeah.
You're coming in from school and you're either having your dinner, doing your homework, and going to bed. You spend more time with the kids in your school and your friends than you do with your parents. So what are we talking about?
That may be Mav's point, though.
I think
If
that's what
you
I think,
don't make time for your children,
not make
But
time. It's no
most
time to
people
survive.
no. But my
Multiple
point
jobs.
is, it's we're in a different now. We have the now we can do better.
This is
But if you're looking across the board in regards to how, like, I was even saying to my my friend the other day how, like, with most Africans, being a good parent is provision and it stops there. It's a full stop.
Yeah.
It doesn't, like,
Like they provide for you.
don't
You
try
got
to
a roof
talk to
over
an
your head, you
African
got clothes on your
parent back in the day about emotional connections and all of those things. That's not what parenting is. That's not what they were taught. Do you understand what I mean? They didn't have time for that. Especially if you've come from another country and your goal is to provide for your 3 or 4 children that you have. You probably don't even have indefinite live to remain. You're even ducking. Do you know what I mean? You've got bigger fish to fry.
Ducking and diving, you know.
Do you know what I mean?
That's basically how more so I see it. I don't necessarily see it as like the parents didn't care. And I know
But that's
you're
what
saying
I'm
that.
saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying that there's
The
so
other
much.
things
There's
to
bigger.
consider.
There's, like, as I've got older, I have to give grace.
But you know what is though? I get it because I believe in giving grace. But I think ultimately I also get where what Mav is. I want to say Marv.
Yeah.
What Mav is saying is, look, I think 2 things can be true.
Yeah.
I do think that if it, like, I get that your circumstances, wherever they are not great and blah 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 blah, and so you're not able to spend time with your children, blah blah. But that is bad parenting. Like, it is. Because the reality is that if you cannot afford to have a child, reality is that you should have planned better and not be in a position where you've then had a child that you cannot make time for. You cannot be there for the child emotionally. You don't know who the children's friends are. You don't know, like, you're not showing up to their parents even. You're not doing these things. That is bad parenting. Parenting is not just enough. And I know that our mindsets have changed from what it was back in the, like Gina was saying, where parents feel like, okay, yeah, I'll give you, there's a roof over your head, clothes on your back, food in your stomach, I'm a good parent.
Yeah.
But the reality is that you're not. It's not. Having a child is way more than just food in the belly, roof over the head, or whatever the case is. So I can give grace that unfortunately circumstances mean that some parents have to work more than others. It means that the your socioeconomic background affects how much of a present parent you can be. I understand that. However, that doesn't take away from the reality. Because reality is that, yes, like, some parents who have had these situations, things are too far gone now when you've clocked it.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? If and when your child is little, you see like little deviant things they're doing, little cheeky things you're doing, you start talking about these things, you start pointing these things out, you start trying to, correct these things. It could, but it may not have gotten this far.
Yeah.
But again, because of the socioeconomic backgrounds, where it's that, you're working so much, something drastic then happens, and it's like, oh my gosh, then you realize how much you've lost control.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately some parents, so I did say earlier that some parents it's not one time, but then it can be that extreme. You're like, actually, no, go back. And I think as much as I agree with going back, because I wasn't shipped back or anything like that. That was just my family dynamic for the reasons my mum had, which is wanting us to know our culture, wanting us to know our grandparents, all that kind of stuff. My family situation is very different, right? However, though, and as much as I think it's good for children to go back home as well, and whatever the case is, I also think that parents in the West, it's a lazy form of parenting. Because you basically go and dump your children onto other people to essentially help you raise. And that is still the problem, because even here, teachers who are here talk about kids don't even have basic manners.
Yeah.
Kids don't know to tell people thank you, or when someone's walking behind you, leave the door open for them. Like, they don't know basic manners. They don't know how to read. They don't know basic things. So I also feel, as much as I think it can be a good thing, I also think that it's out of order where you don't live back home. You don't live in an African, let me just use Africans, right? You don't live in an African country You wanted to be in this land of better opportunity or whatever the case was. When you gave birth to your child, you didn't think that you wanted your child. You didn't see Africa as good enough to help you raise your child from is it inception, right? But then when your child is now quote unquote spoiled or bad, now you want it to be Africa's problem to help you raise the children. So there's many angles with it. I think some people, I think it's it's also a form of lazy parenting. But I'm not saying these things in absolute because every situation is different.
Exactly.
But I definitely do think give grace to parents, 100%, especially with the circumstance. We have better opportunities that they did, and I believe that.
Yeah.
However, that's not an excuse for accountability to still not be taken, that I wasn't a present parent enough, which is why this child may have gone off.
Do you know the thing is, I agree with you because I mean, we've said on the show plenty of times that I think one of the biggest problems is people are not planning their families, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just happy-go-lucky, have a child and figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And most times people don't figure it out, right? But the issue is, I think, is sometimes it's what we see as parenting.
Yeah.
If somebody was to put their child in a boarding school in this country, that wouldn't be called bad parenting. If you put that child in one of those camps to fix up their behavior and their discipline, that wouldn't be bad parenting.
It would then.
I don't say that way. I see it as a parent saying, cool, what I'm doing, maybe you're not listening, maybe there's other forces that's basically at play here, and I'm doing what's necessary to make sure my child grows up to be a productive person. That's good parenting to me. So the way I see it is sometimes when we're looking at our present situation, especially as adults now, right?
Yeah.
You have certain certain, for lack of a better word, privileges, right?
Yeah.
It's different to our parents. Like Gino was saying, some people are coming here, no papers, no nothing. They want to lay low. They want to make sure that everything is up to par.
Yeah.
And when they come here and see that sometimes their kids are behaving a particular way, are around the area with particular kids doing particular things, coming home late, whatever it may be, they're thinking, I know, based on my workload, based on the fact that I work 2 jobs, based on the fact that I literally come home, make sure you come back from school, pick you up, whatever, put you in the house, give you enough food to eat. 6 o'clock, I'm off again. And just trust that at this particular age, you go to bed at 9 or whatever it may be, right? And just trying to manage the situation, right? It's completely different to parents who grew up in a nice area and that be their reality, because the environment will basically dictate so much. Just like we know kids being in school, like every kid spends most of their time, right, in school. Most of their time. Outside the school, it's in the environment. You know what I'm saying? And so that's going to be the biggest contributing factors to me. And if a parent, right, again, every parent is different, like you said, but if a parent can spot that certain things are not as they should be, and they do what's necessary to fix those things, I don't think that's bad parenting. I think that's excellent parenting, because your only job, or at least your main responsibility, is to look after that child and make sure that child leaves your home a productive person in the world. Yeah. And if you do it by whatever means, then you succeeded. Bad parenting is recognizing a fault and just going on with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like just going on. Imagine somebody calls me a good parent because I kept my child with me, but I couldn't control them. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm a good parent to me if I get rid of you, send you to the camp, send you back home, seeing where there's discipline, where social services won't be knocking on my door for giving you a dirty slap when you need one, right? To make sure you have what's necessary.
You need one.
Yeah, 100%. Sometimes kids, we need to beat them. You know what I'm saying? Discipline is necessary.
Sorry. Okay, can I ask? I need to go, right?
You know what I mean, though?
But so this is what it is, yeah. So I get where you're going, but I think that's the issue is what is good parenting and what is bad parenting.
Yeah.
Because I will see a parent who is poor, for example, who has to struggle to make ends meet or whatever, but they know everything that's going on in their child's life as a good parent. They are a present parent in the children's lives, compared to somebody who is rich, lives in a nice area, whatever the case is, and then sends their kids to boarding school. Yeah. Which is why I said that the boarding school thing, whether it's abroad, whether it's here, can sometimes be a form of lazy parenting, because you don't have the burden of having to take care of your child and be so present in your child's life day to day. Because the reality is that there's a lot of people that, it's not just poor people that are not good parents. They're rich people as well who are also bad parents. And their child lives with them or whatever the case is, but they also don't know what's going on in their child's life. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So for me, that's the standard of good parenting and bad parenting. So it's not so much that you taking that, you thinking, oh, my child is naughty, blah blah. I'm gonna send them to boarding school. I'm gonna ship them abroad or whatever. That makes you a good parent. I don't believe that, because, and again, I'm not saying that makes you a bad parent.
Yeah, I get you.
But before your child got to this stage, there would have been signs. You always know a deviant child from when they're young. You just know. And again, if you're a present enough parent, you'll be able to clock these things, because some parents can honestly not sit down and say that they have done everything they absolutely possibly could for their child.
100%. But if you clock those things early to your friends, given the fact that so and so is the case, and I can't move, I can't do so and so, and I put in place something to make sure I can mitigate these risks of you being whatever.
Yeah.
How can that be a bad thing?
But that's
when has parenthood ever been easy?
I'm not speaking absolutely that it's necessarily a bad thing or anything like that. But I don't think a lot of parents can confidently say that they know so much going on in their child's life to the point where, like, I feel like they just, I just don't think that I don't think they can honestly say that they've done the absolute most that they possibly could before that child got to what we call now the bad phase. Yeah. Because really and truly, if you know your child is cheeky and whatever else from young, there's a way that you will raise that child and you pay way more attention. But you can't not be paying attention to the child, then act surprised that one day your child is on drugs or your child is drinking or your child is sneaking out, doing all these things. And I understand, again, that people's circumstances are different, but we also see bad parenting with very rich people. Yeah. So the issue is not about just provision. The issue is not about you think that your child is so far gone and then you want an institution to help you raise the child. The issue is about parenting, intentionally parenting from the beginning. Yeah. And that's what makes a good parent. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
100%.
Well, yeah, but I gotta go, guys. I got holiday prep to do. I'm off next week. I'll see y'all the week after that.
Bring something back, please. I got.
What do you want? A keychain?
I got a set of keys that I need to add stuff to.
Okay, I'm gonna bring your keychains back.
Thank you very much. Enjoy. Say my love.
I will. I will have a good time.
Later. Don't do anything. In fact, do anything you want.
What? Say it.
Do anything you want.
I will. God forbid they say you're controlling a black woman.
Good morning, beautiful Stacey, and good morning, handsome Ed. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. How are y'all?
Blessed and highly favored. Blessed and highly favored. Is that Ed?
Ed or Eddie?
Ed.
Is it just me, or you can hardly see you can't see the speakers anymore? This is weird. Oh, here we go. I can see them. It's fine.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
The parents who ship their kids are lazy.
Ooh.
Sorry. And lack accountability. And I think this is a growing problem that doesn't just go into those who ship their kids. I think there's a spike in lazy parenting, especially with this iPad generation of kids, that's getting to dangerous levels. The kids lack discipline. The kids can't read. The kids don't have manners. The kids are kidding. And I think this excuse that, I think Iman said something, it's like, if it's proven to be difficult and like, your child has yada, 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 yada. When has parenting ever been easy? Like, me personally, I was one of those kids who was threatened to be sent, but my grandmother declined because she was like, your child just knows too much about her rights. Fun fact, short story. When I was a kid, I'm Kenyan. I was sick one time and my mom refused to give me medicine. She didn't believe I was sick. Do you know, I went and sent my grandmother an email from my little computer in my room. My grandmother calls the house at 2 a.m. to wake everybody up to tell my mom, you better give that kid medicine. She said, there's no university. I'm sending you to Kenya. You just know too much. Like, you have to know your child. This thing of, your kids get to teenager level where they're uncontrollable. I was watching your kid biting you when you tried to discipline them and you didn't do anything to intervene. You just sat there and cried. You knew that kid was bad from time. So no, I'm not hearing it. I think shipping your kids without telling them that they're going is the issue. And I think that extends not just to shipping, but how African parents tend to discipline in general. You can't expect your discipline to land if you're banking on intent to be received the way you intended it. That even extends to people who whoop their children. Me personally, whooping will be taking place at my house. I just was raised on that. I believe in it. I don't think it should be abused, but I think there's a point where some kids need to be popped. Some kids respond better to physical discipline than others who respond better to talking. But I think both should still take place. If you're going to whoop your kids, you better whoop your kids and then explain to them why what they were doing was incorrect.
Of course.
And pivot their mindset so that they understand why they were disciplined, they understand why they shouldn't do it again. The same way with if you're going to ship your kids, there should have been multiple steps before you got into that final boss of actually shipping them. But when you ship them, you better tell them, listen, I've explained to you many times how the path that you're going in life is going to work to your detriment. I've gotten to a point where I have tried to intervene many times, which most parents have not. They just decide to ship them. You didn't digest it. You didn't listen. So this is my final attempt to try to course correct your life. I think that is required for that experience to be received well without it becoming an issue of resent. At least the child knows that before they even experience that thing of being shipped, their parents are coming from the right place. And they may not understand it at that moment, but they know from the get-go that is why they're being sent. They weren't manipulated on top of their anger for being sent there in the first place. It's lazy parenting. Parents aren't disciplining their kids these days.
Okay, I hear you.
Stay there, don't you go anywhere. Good morning, Ed. What are your thoughts?
Yo, what's up, bro?
Blessed and highly favored.
You can hear me clear?
Yeah, we can.
All right, cool. What's it called? So I partly agree with what Stacey's saying in terms of like definitely there's an element of lazy parenting, I guess, to an extent. I wouldn't even quote with lazy saying. I just think you, as a parent, have put yourself in a position where you have, too many hats to wear, too many mouths to feed, too much to handle, whatever. Like you put yourself in a situation where you can't handle the important parts of raising your child outside of the basics. Like you're sitting there going, all right. Because I'm feeding my kids, because I'm putting clothes on their back, because they got a roof over their heads, I'm a good parent. Everything else from this point is just them, and it's like you're losing you're losing important nuance there in terms of your impact on your child, just in being attentive, being present, being involved. You know what I mean? So when this kid then grows up and gets to a point where they're moving mad, you've then put yourself in a position where you're put on the back foot you've been on the back foot from early. So now, like Stacey said, you're now at the point where you're like, okay, well, I can't catch up to them, so I've got to just get rid of them because they're not in the position to because they're not in the position to raise them, right? To get them out of that situation. And I'm just like, I don't. So some say that.
No, I was just gonna say personally, I think for some reason, everyone has maybe never been in these situations, or can't put themselves in a situation and remember how their parents were when they first came to this country, and think about the environments they grew up in. Every single day we talk about, the child who is sent to country or what happens in particular areas and all this sort of stuff. And on those days, we understand the influence of the environment. But today, for some reason, we don't understand these things. Also, we're acting as though being a present parent means you know and see every single thing a child does.
No, I agree with you. You don't know everything, see everything.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with that. You can't know and see everything. Even the attentive parents can't know and see everything. I agree with that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So what does that mean? So that means that there's space for children to do things, get things wrong, and continue to get those things wrong, especially when there's a continual influence of that wrong. It happens every single day. There's a reason why rich parents have kids who, obviously, let's even talk about white parents and white families. They have nowhere to ship their kids to, right? But essentially what happens is, you know what I'm saying? Essentially what happens is the kids will end up being delinquents or going up being criminals or whatever it may be. So many things happen to children in every single community. The difference is with us is we're migrants. We're first generation. We have a place where we know the school system is very different to the school system here. And so parents are thinking, I have an option here. I do not want my child to be a useless child. And I can see what's happening in this environment here is not why I came to this country. So if I can put something in place to prevent it, I would do so. I don't think that it's always lazy parenting. Don't get me wrong, by the way, I believe sometimes it is lazy parenting. Because some parents, again, are doing nothing but chilling at home, on benefits, have all the time in the world, don't give a damn, watch TV, EastEnders, gossip every day, and just eat bread and just do nothing, right? We know that unfortunately some people in our community are like that, but some parents are responsible.
Sometime or most time?
No. Sometimes we can't say most, right? A lot
But
of
do
the
you
time,
think it's more time than not that it's laziness?
I can't say that. I can only look at my household and the household of friends around me and stuff like that. Most of us, right, even though we came from the hood and had certain things in our environments, yeah, most of us, if I remember correctly, 90 to 90% of us, right, had both parents in the house, right? But there's still certain things that occurred. Why? Because the environments that we're in, because our parents are occupied a lot of the time doing X, Y, Z, trying to juggle so many different things that the average person today who is between 20 and 40 does not have a clue about. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, we're born here. We can talk this talk, right? We have passports. We have all these sort of things. It's so plus we're in 2025 where there's a rule and a right for every sort of nonsense in the world. You got fairies now, man. You know what I'm saying?
You're dumb.
Back then,
I
in the
think to do it
80s, in the
circumstantially.
90s, in the 80s and 90s, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about here?
Eman, having to do it circumstantially and making the choice to do it by blaming your kid for being a poor parent is two different things. And I don't think that all bad kids are a product of poor parenting. I think kids
But
are kind
that's
of,
what you're saying, though. When you say that,
no,
sending kids back is lazy parenting, period. That's what you're
no.
saying.
Sending kids back is lazy parenting.
No,
Doesn't mean that it's a fault of the parent.
I'm saying in this particular argument that I'm making, I don't think all children who become bad children are a product of poor parenting. I think there is a chance that your child just is a shit kid because they're just a shit kid and that's just the cards you were dealt. However, what I am saying parents are accountable for is in recognizing your kid has gone astray and coddling their child and not addressing the issue as it progresses. And where I think it's lazy is thinking that the solution that I feel like a lot of African parents tend to go to is you are a problem, and the quickest way to fix this problem is for me to send you back home.
Stacey,
the way I was raised,
give me three. Sorry to cut you. Give me three potential solutions.
Hold on, let me make my argument because I think
cool.
my argument will answer your question.
Cool.
Kind of. One thing that I remember my parents telling one of my aunts who had children in the last maybe 5 or so years about parenting. And mind you, I was a kid when I heard this. I don't know why it stuck to me. You will never be prepared for what parenthood actually is. You can save all the money. You can take all the classes. You can do all the mental preparation and say, this is the ideal time that I want to have my kid. But if you go and save $1 million, what happens if the kid that you now born has disabilities? By month 1, you've spent $1 million on medical fees. You think that preparation saved you? What happens now if your child has learning disabilities? You've never had learning disabilities in your family in the history of your lineage that you're aware of. That's difficult. Nothing can prepare you for that. As a parent, what your job is to do is to be committed to raising that child no matter the circumstance. So if you happen to be dealt the hand of a child that is difficult behaviorally, me personally, the way I take that sentiment that my parents passed down onto my aunt that I just so happen to hear is, as a parent, it's up to you to get creative and crafty with how you go about making sure that child gets pivoted onto the right path. When I say it's lazy, I've witnessed it with my own eyes. When the teacher is telling you this kid is in class doing nonsense, you're just pitying the child, looking at your child like, oh, disappointment. You're just saying, oh.
Sorry to cut you again, Stacey. I've never seen an African parent do that.
I've seen it. Their parents will now yell at them, they'll beat them, and thinking beating them will somehow make them decide. You think that the fear that you've instilled in them by beating them is going to be the solution to your problems. No. Not every child responds to the beating that worked for you when you were small. In fact, sometimes not even a problem of beating and discipline. There could be a plethora of other things that are impacting that child's ability to do well in school, do well behaviorally. And I'm not chucking it up to mental health. I'm not chucking it up to having actual medically diagnosable things. It could be a plethora of things. I don't want to make it exclusive to just those issues. But as a parent, I'm not a parent, so I'm speaking from what I've seen, right? I believe, and the way I was raised to think about parenthood, especially as someone who's getting to the age where parenthood is on the horizon sooner than later, it is your commitment to your child is understanding that, you might not have all the answers, but you're going to lengths to make sure that you are trying your best to accommodate that child and put them on the correct path. So if some kids respond better to beatings, okay, cool. If you know that your child, you will beat them 10 times, they'll still go out and do the same nonsense. Beating doesn't work for your child. The next step isn't, okay, I whooped them, I've done all I've used all the weaponry to flog them, now it's time to send them back home. No. Sit down with that child and figure out what went astray. If it's schoolwork that's doing them, are you struggling in school because you don't understand? Is it an interest thing? Is it what you're not speaking to them? And that's why I say, when it comes to parenthood, I think our African Americans, at least now as an adult, what I'm understanding is when it came to discipline, at least how I received it, the miscommunication was the conversation I should have followed up. A lot of times when our parents took corrective action to try to pivot us, our response was more so out of fear than it was for understanding. For example, when I was 16, I learned how to drive. My parents gifted me my dad's old BMW as my first car. My mom was very keen on telling me, we are giving you the privilege of a car, but you must tell me where you are going. Guess who didn't tell her where I was going? Me. One day, I totaled the car in the complete opposite side of Los Angeles of where I go to school. I was taking a friend home. I didn't tell her. Now I've totaled the car. The person in front of me has a brand new car. I completely totaled their car. I don't even know if my insurance was able to cover it. I'm pretty sure my parents got sued for that accident. What my mom walked away telling me from that accident was, now can you imagine if I'm sitting at home? My parents were very serial news watchers. If I decided to drive my dad's other car that day, I would have been dead. As in, the accident was that bad, the other car was so thin, I would have ended my life in that accident. My mom said, can you imagine I'm watching the news? I'm seeing accident taking place on 91 freeway. I'm like, oh, that's a tragic accident. Little do I know that's my child sitting dead, lifeless in that car. What would you have done?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the conversations you need to have with your children, so that when you discipline them, you're not just flogging them for the sake of flogging them. They know, I'm going to beat you, yes, because you will understand that what you did was wrong. But you need to also understand why what you did was wrong, so in future you don't make the same mistakes. From that moment on, I understood when my parents tell me something, there's a reason for it. And I might ask, sometimes I might not ask, sometimes I might challenge. But as a parent, this thing of I don't owe explanation or that's where you shoot yourself in the foot. That's when you start sending your kids abroad and they know nothing but fear, and you think that that's what's going to save their life. It's not. Because the moment they get free will and they don't have that fear in their heart for you, what will they then do?
Everything you're saying makes sense to me. I think there needs to be more communication in all walks of life, to be fair, especially when you discipline your children, right? So I fully agree with you. But God forbid, if you did take your dad's car, right, and something did happen to you, do you think it would be right for your relatives to say that your parents were bad parents?
That's not the point.
No, I'm asking that question though.
No.
There you go. Because what's happening is everyone is basically saying a child that doesn't listen, goes too far, consequences occur, bad parent. That's not life. That's
no one saying that.
No. That's exactly what's being said. What I'm trying to... No, it is. It really is.
Okay.
But when the analogy is framed in a way that makes sense now you can see it. The reality is there's a combination of both. It's dynamic. A parent prevents issues, but also sometimes has to deal with the issue that's already occurred. It's dynamic. It's back and forth. Sometimes you're...
But I said that, Iman. I literally said before I even started with that story time, I said, a lot of times parents are not to blame for their children being bad, but they're to blame when that badness has progressed.
Fine, I hear what you're saying. Cool, I heard that part. What I'm trying to say to you is, though, when people are talking about this, people are acting as though every single thing that occurs is bad parenting. Am I saying that we as parents or black people, whenever we're parents, we should be more in our parents' life, be more... I'm not saying... We need to be. We need to really endeavor to be the best human beings we can be to those parents. I'll be honest with you. Me personally, there's nothing more I take more serious than being a parent. Nothing more, right?
Of course.
And my thing is, sometimes you just recognize that this child goes to school, comes back saying a new word that you know they never heard in your house. That's an issue you have to deal with. But sometimes there's things that you understand is going to be in the school, so you do certain things, put it in place to prevent any of the nonsense from school coming. But you don't always know the things that they're up against. And sometimes this occurs because as much as you are present, you are not controlling. You are not the puppet master. They leave your house and spend 6 to 8 hours away from you. And they come back again. And sometimes all I'm saying is, I agree with you. Sometimes it is lazy parenting. I agree. But sometimes to kind of blanket, say, oh, whatever you send them back is bad. No, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it really isn't.
So basically,
Then we're saying
both
the
things
same
can
thing.
exist. But yeah, I was gonna say essentially, both points are valid. Both exist. Like and like you said, it's not just one or the other. Like there's a lot of that. There's so many things that go into it. So yeah.
And this is.
But you remember what do you call it? I said that a little bit earlier. That's why I asked you, do you think that it's some cases or do you think it's most? Because my personal stance is I think that from my observation, most of the parents who ship their kids, at least from America, are lazy.
This is what I'm saying.
You didn't
What are you basing this off? What are you
I'm
basing
basing it off of the time, usually around the time that they start sending their kids, at least here, is around high school.
Okay.
We've,
As in the
we've
beginning?
seen these kids.
Are you saying the
Yeah,
beginning? Or
beginning.
mid? Okay, cool.
Beginning. High school, like maybe 8th grade latest, end of middle school, early high school.
Okay.
By first year of high school, they're gone.
Okay.
So we've seen this kid for the past 9 years. When they were biting kids in kindergarten, when they were drawing on walls in first grade, when they were ripping books in second grade, we saw the kid, bro. When the teacher was telling you, you were enabling the child. But maybe he was bored. When they were trying to tell you your child cannot read, you were trying to say there's nothing wrong with my child. When they tried to tell you to go and test your child for ADHD, you thought your child was above any medical issues. And now it's 8th grade when you're saying, I've tried, please.
Maybe it's because they had in their head what you're thinking. I don't want to be a bad parent and just try and think, oh, there's an issue with my kid and whatever it may be. I want to try this.
Not,
do you get what I'm saying? I want to try this. You know?
I'm not saying that that's not the case. I'm saying that is an excuse. And that is poor parenting. The problem with, see, and I've said this before, why can't people just stand behind the choices that they make being wrong?
Okay, so where's the
you
wrong?
Want to do,
where's the wrong?
If you, and I think a lot of these parents, at least from what I've seen now, at this point, some of the kids who got sent have come back and their parents talk about it often. A lot of them end up regretting it because they came to find, oh, this child that I thought was stupid wasn't getting good grades. I've tried beating them. I've tried taking them to tutoring. I've tried. Now I'm trying to ship you over to Kenya or whatever the case may be, so that they can teach you properly because clearly the school education system here is not doing you. No, your child had dyslexia. Your child had inter-educational, issue here. You just didn't have the time, quote unquote, or you didn't have the interest, quote unquote, or you just thought your child was above having issues to invest in finding out what the issue was, interceding it early. You just had to ship them and think that was going to be the end all be all fix. That is lazy parenting. And if that's your choice, let it be your choice. Please, it's not my household. I cannot tell you what to do. But when it's already happened and we're looking back and we know what the issue was, say that you're wrong, bro. Like, just stand 10 toes behind your wrong. It is lazy. You didn't take the effort, make the effort. You did not go to the complete lengths to figure out how to course correct this child. It was lazy.
All right. Well, I mean, to me, I guess I don't know any of those type of parents, to be fair, innit? So I can't speak to that. I can't say you're wrong, Stacey. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But again, I'm just speaking from, I guess, my experience and seeing other things. And even the good brother Marvin in the video said, like, it saved his life, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and granted, I know what you're saying. It should have been dealt with and sorted out prior to being a terrorist like that, right? But
yeah,
sometimes just things occur, man. And if that's not the case, then I think we have to understand that going forward, our argument should always be that parents are basically the cause of every single thing in this world.
Can I ask you a question?
That's basically what it has to be. Yeah.
I know that we're running out of time, but I'm just curious, as someone who was sent as a child,
yeah,
and a parent yourself, is there any type of behavior that would potentially trigger you to have that thought that you may need to consider sending your child? I think this is an important conversation or important question to ask, especially a lot of us who maybe didn't get sent, or people who are parents now, and like we're in a completely different generation of raising children and different generation of discipline, where a lot of the things that we were raised on in terms of discipline, or our parents were raised on in terms of discipline, legally it's not a risk people want to take, or just children react differently today than they were 20 years ago. But as a parent now, like, are there things that you see, or maybe not in your kids, but in other people's kids, that would make you say, this is something where in the future, I'm sure you're going to have that dilemma of sending your kid, or those are the seeds that you think are that could bud into a potential problem?
I think it's the same as before, to be honest with you. And I think maybe that's just because of, my life experiences and things of that nature. Besides just negativity in environment and stuff that can risk your life, or maybe sending you to prison and things of that nature, just have you just wild and really just change the real trajectory of your life, I wouldn't. But me personally, though, as a dad, I don't think I would send my kids back, only because the type of person I am, I'm very like, I need to know everything about the child. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Every single goddamn thing, right? And I think I'm also able to have the capacity to do so because I'm living a completely different life to my parents did. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't live in the same area anymore. I don't have the income they had. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can afford to have that. You know what I'm saying? We've got phones. I know it sounds silly, but when I was a child, our parents had the brick phones. If your parent had a mobile phone, do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's different. The communication, the WhatsApp, all of that is different today. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, when I was got sent back home, I had to wait every Friday, because how difficult it was. My mum would call every single Friday, 5 p.m. I would know where to go to wait for that phone call. She never missed a phone call. Never. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying that to say, because back then, the phone in and all them sort of things was difficult. You know what I'm saying? But she still went out of her way to do that. There was no, I'm going to be delayed to nothing. I was there. I needed to be, right? But I'm saying today, being in your child's life is a lot easier, I think, in terms of the technology and just being aware of certain things. So it's different. So I hope that answered your question. I think
Not really.
Okay. Where did I go wrong?
Like, behavior wise, like, no, literally, like, if you were to observe a child and make an analysis on what would make you think this child may need to get sent, at the end of the day, regardless of how times have evolved, there are kids who are still getting shipped.
Yeah. I guess, like I was saying, I think it would be how susceptible they are to negative things in the environment. I think, to me, that's one of the main things that really affects our community, our children. I think that's one of the things. So it will just be, go on.
Me personally, maybe this will give you some like context on how I guess the type of answer I'm expecting.
Yeah.
Me personally, your child being a criminal might be one of the very few, if not the only, reasons why I think they should be sent.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm speaking to.
If your child is on the path of criminal behavior, send them.
Yeah.
But I think sending them for discipline and sending them for other reasons is different things. I wasn't sent, but I've always said that when I have kids, those formative years of their education, I want to send mine to Kenya.
Yeah.
Reason being, language. I think foundationally, I'm not saying that I want them to be beaten when they do things wrong. I think those days have passed for a lot of countries in ways that people don't want to discuss. But like, when it comes to discipline and understanding the importance and the value of education, I think that in their formative years of school, they will adapt to that better than in America. And when they get around maybe 3rd or 4th grade, I want to bring them back and they continue school here. It's a foundational thing for me versus a discipline thing for me. And it may change. I'm still young. I don't have children, right?
Yeah.
But discipline-wise, unless criminalness is on the horizon, bro, raise your child.
Yeah.
Discipline your child. Do the work and find out how you can, as a parent, step up for them and find a way to pivot. And I know that it's difficult. I'm not saying that it's easy. I'm not saying that it's logical every time. But I don't know. I can only imagine how, like, it's one thing for your kid to be led astray, but when they get to the other side of that, God willing, like, imagine how they'll look at you when your choice was to send them in the name of saving them, when it's like, you could have also just been there for me.
100%. But again, you've seen it with someone like Marv. You've seen it with myself.
But how do you not know that you sending them away was saving them? Like, do you know what I mean?
Disagreeing with that.
If it did save them, then not like why is it a bad thing? Like, do you get what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Saving them at what cost, though?
Also, it doesn't
Their
always
life.
save them. It doesn't always save them as well. How many guys have we know? We all know guys who've been shipped and come back and they're on madness regardless.
They went
Like,
too
we're not
late,
gonna
man.
say that, like, you go and you go and everything is all good when you come home. It's like you might have a good month when you come back, and then a few weeks later you're back in the streets because your parents can't control you, and you're back in the streets.
And that's
So-
that's mainly though, Ed, though, because sometimes they went a bit too late, and also because they went back to the same environment. Do you get what I'm saying? The
That's an
same.
excuse, because if it's a fix the way you said it was a fix, they would come back repaired.
Nothing is a fix.
Like-
Nothing
Yeah, that's
is a
the thing,
fix.
you're saying-
You're just trying your best to mitigate all the risks of a particular
When
thing.
are we going to
happening.
recognize that sometimes what you think is your best is not enough? And that's okay.
To put a best with everything in life?
You can still
yes.
try your best and be wrong.
Of course.
But
Can I be honest? I
my
think this
argument
whole thing is subjective
is not their
anyway.
best.
Like, it's
I
literally
don't-
each to their own. I don't think there's like, even with parenting, there's no rule book.
Mm.
There's no, do you know what I mean? There's no like one set rule book of how to be a parent. So
Yeah.
generally, I think it's subjective, and you can only do what you feel is best for you and your family
100%.
at that point, and that might look
Yeah.
different to somebody else's.
Yeah, 100%.
Agree.
100%.
I just
Good
think
morning,
parents,
Izzy Bambino.
Oh, he's cut. I think.
Oh, serious.
oh,
Sorry, man. Call back if you can. We got like what?
just
12
before I
minutes,
go,
guys. Yep.
yeah, I just think parents do their best, and obviously we're grateful for them. Well, they do what they think is their best. We're grateful for them, but I think that there comes a point where you can recognize that maybe your best wasn't enough, or your best wasn't the best decision, or what you thought was your best wasn't your best. And I don't think that the best is always sending your kid abroad. I think
Agreed.
that
Yeah.
I would like to see, and I think this next generation of parents is going to be the ones to change what that looks like, especially as people who were first generation in these countries like the UK, the US, etc. Some of them may have been shipped, some of them were firsthand witnesses to some of their relatives or friends being shipped, came back and saw the repercussions of that, positive or negative. I think we're in a generation where parents have more of the tools to be hands-on, or more of the understanding to be hands-on. But I don't always think that's an excuse for parents of yesterday and today. I think when people have kids and they tell you kids are a large commitment and kids require a lot of sacrifice, my understanding of that as part of that sacrifice is that difficultness of being thrown in situations when you might have the most, well-behaved child. You might have the child who you tell them something one time and it sticks. You never have to explain to them or tell them again. But you might have the child that requires 36 tellings, 5 beatings, a trip, to the jail to scare them, a trip to skip, like,
Yeah.
it might require an extreme amount of effort, an extreme amount of talking to, but that shouldn't, that the level of difficultness it takes, to me, doesn't justify you, quote unquote, I don't say giving up, because sending your kid abroad is not always giving up,
It's not at
but
all.
making the excuse that it's difficult, so I did it, to me is poor.
Okay.
Raising a child is not easy. It never has been easy.
If you're going to say that difficult, then I can agree with you with that. But I think it's more so, I think anyway, when parents do this, again, this is my perspective, they do it because they feel it's not the difficult part. It's just, I'm worried about your future. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't know how and what I can put in place to prevent what I see happening. And so this is one of those steps. And also another thing is, with our generation, many of us don't have that base back home to send our kids. It's not even an option. I don't think it's because, we're doing anything better. I think it's because we don't think of back home as a viable place to put our kids. That's what I think, personally.
I think too, Iman, what you're saying about making sure the kid's future is intact. I think that generation of parents' values were I don't want to say misplaced, but very different. To them, a good kid was someone who went out into the world, got an education, was able to find sustainable employment, quote unquote, raise a family, whatever that looks like, right? But now we're in a generation where that financial provision or those types of things are not the end all be all. Like we want to, while we also want our kids to grow up to have good education, be able to get a good job, all those different things, we also value having a healthy home, having a good positive relationship between parents and children, etc. And when you see how some of those disciplinary things that our parents chose to do or inflict on their kids valued more of their values versus what we value today, I think a lot of people will then recognize how some of those things just will not work if both of those things are a priority for you. So me personally, if my kids get to a point where, again, criminal activity is the only thing that will make me send them for discipline, I want to have a relationship with my children where even when they're in their toughest of times, whether it's behavioral, financial, whatever the case may be, as a parent, I want to be there to support them and get them on the right track. But I also want them to have a good relationship with me. And that's not to be their friend. I'm still going to be their parent. But I want them to know that even at their worst, as their parent, I stepped up to make sure to pivot them the right way as best as I knew how. I may not be right, and I might in retrospect say that, but to say, oh, I did the best that I can, please. I can say that I'm wrong, but I want to have that relationship with my children as valuable to me as make sure that you're quote unquote saved.
Yeah. No, I hear you. That makes sense to me. Thank you very much for your contributions.
Is his back, Brent, just in case?
Good morning, Easy.
Testing, can you guys hear me?
We can.
Yeah. Good morning.
Cool. Good morning, everyone. I'll be quick, given the time. I think it's, important not to conflate the act of sending your kid overseas, but with the motivation. So, for example, there's parents that have very little care for their kids and send their kids overseas or back home to raise them better, but they have no real insight into what is really good for their kids. So in that case, that's wrong. But I don't think we should conflate that and think that every parent that sends their kids back home are doing it because they're lazy or whatnot. I guess on a wider point, I think sadly, as like a demographic, we seem to over-inflate the value of being a good kid. A lot of parents kind of raise their kids just to take orders and not really raise them to be adults. Like we spend most of our lives as adults, and how many of us can look at our parents and maybe say they raised us in a certain way to best prepare us to be adults as opposed to just being good kids. But yeah, that's kind of my main points, to be honest.
Yeah, it makes sense, man. I definitely hear what you're saying. I think that's a very important point, man. The motivation matters. The motivation definitely matters. But yes, thank you very much, guys, for calling up. Appreciate it as always. Thank you, Stacey. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Izzy. Brent?
Thank you. Let's move on to the last headline.
Yeah. All right, people. So, trigger warning on this one. Trigger warning. Paul Doyle, who's a 53-year-old former Royal Marine, has been charged with 7 offences related to a car crash at Liverpool's Premier League victory parade that injured 79 people. The charges include multiple counts of causing and attempting to cause grievous bodily harm with intent, dangerous driving, and unlawful wounding, with 1 child amongst the victims. Mr. Doyle will appear in Liverpool Magistrates Court on Friday, and Merseyside police are reviewing extensive CCTV and mobile phone footage as part of their investigation. 7 people remain hospitalised following the incident, which involved a car crashing into supporters on Water Street. The youngest victim was 9 years old. Our next headline: the United States has told the United Nations Security Council that Vladimir Putin should agree to its proposed temporary ceasefire, or it could step away from brokering peace. The 30-day land, air, and sea truce was Russia's best possible outcome. This is what the acting Deputy US Ambassador John Kelly said. He warned Washington could impose further sanctions on Russia. He also said if Russia makes the wrong decision to continue this catastrophic war, the United States will have to consider stepping back from our negotiation efforts to end this conflict. We want to work with Russia, including on this peace initiative and on an economic package. There is no military solution to this conflict. The deal on offer now is Russia's best possible outcome. President Putin should take the deal. last headline. Former government minister Robert Jenrick filmed himself confronting alleged fare evaders on the London Underground, claiming lawlessness is out of control under the mayor, Sadiq Khan. Jenrick's actions have been criticised as vigilante justice, particularly given his past controversies involving unlawful planning decisions and misspent funds. But while TfL acknowledges fare evasion as a serious issue, costing £130 million annually, they report a slight decrease and are implementing measures to combat it. Jenrick also linked fare evasion to broader concerns about crime, including mentioning an investigation into Turkish barbershops, potentially being used for their money laundering, though he later admitted to filming without permission from TfL. Basically, he's the guy that lost to Ken Bednock in trying to be the party leader, and he went, I think he was at Stratford, Westfield, filming himself trying to stop people who bust through the barriers, saying, yo, why are you doing this? Pay, etc., etc. But yeah, that's it for the headlines, guys. Time to pay them bills. And Brent, let's go. Quick reaction.
Hold up. Wasn't it asking for our friends?
Damn, we got time for that?
No, I didn't extend the topic of the day. Here's this stupid man.
I don't have a thingy.
Don't worry.
Why don't you go back to the barrier and pay? Do you want to go back and pay like everybody else? Do you think it's all right not to pay? Why don't you go back and pay? You can say off as much as you want. But everyone else has to pay. You're carrying a knife, you say? Nearly 1 in 25 people using London's public transport aren't paying for it. So there's 8 officers down there, but 1 minute away, that gate's wide open. It's also just annoying watching so many people break the law and get away with it. Or at least most of it. Right, should we go over here to these guys here? Excuse me, gents. Hello. You're on camera, mate. You're bang to rights.
Just step to the side and...
All right, thanks very much, guys. It's the same with bike theft, phone theft, tool theft, shoplifting, drugs in town centres, weird Turkish barber shops. It's all chipping away at society.
See how you dropped that?
Diabolical.
Turkish barbershops. What made you go with that verse?
How did he connect that?
How'd you get there?
That is mental. Anyway, you said reaction. Okay. Where is it?
All right, people, welcome to Reaction. There isn't much to talk about. I just wanted to mention 2 things in the boxing quickly. Teofimo Lopez, he's a WBO super lightweight champion, and apparently he's been fired by the Saudi boxing chief Turki Al-Sheikh following a series of critical tweets jeopardizing his planned fight with Devin Haney in Riyadh. So that fight would have been a fight that obviously people who care about boxing would have been looking forward to. That would have been August 16th. But the dispute arose after Lopez, who had previously agreed to the fight at 145, a catchweight, right, posted disparaging remarks about Turki Al-Sheikh on social media, including a deleted tweet that called him a dictator. With the Haney fight now uncertain and potential bout against Jaron Ennis seemingly off the table, is definitely off the table. Boots is not fighting no Teofimo Lopez. For what reason? He'll kill Teofimo Lopez as well. Lopez's future remains kind of unclear. To be fair, he's done this quite a few times. That's one thing. And the next thing I wanted to mention is Jaime Munguia, who is the former WBO junior middleweight champion. He lost to Canelo, young Mexican fighter, went up. Sorry, he didn't go up. Same weight class. He lost to Saras. I mentioned this, I believe, maybe 2 weeks ago, and I said that he's got the rematch, and he won the rematch. Long story short, he has tested positive for PED. So VADA, who is the Voluntary Anti-Doping Association, they do the whole post-fight urine tests. They do it during your training as well, all sorts of stuff. Random tests. Long story short, yeah, he's tested positive for exogenous testosterone. And yeah, man, it looks like there might be a no contest. Obviously, he won the fight, unanimous decision. And yeah, it's going to be a no contest. Probably would get banned. He has now 10 days to request a testing of his B sample. We all know 99% of the time, B sample is exactly the same as the bloody A sample. So he's going to be facing suspensions, fines, and all sorts of stuff. And Saras, the guy he beat, he's going to have his unbeaten record reinstated. Again, this is all if this proves to be conclusive that it was a positive banned substance in his his system, which it most likely was. You know what I'm saying? None of this stuff is bloody coincidental. Same thing with Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? He obviously got banned or whatever. Did he even get an official ban? Can't remember. But everyone made it seem as though David Haney was a bad guy. It's all crazy. So the boxing world basically facilitates this nonsense. They enabled this. But anyway, he got caught with a banned substance, and we'll see what happens, man. But that's it for the reaction, Brent.
Shout out to Chelsea for winning the
cup.
Well done. You guys have excelled this year. More of the same next year. The UEFA Cup, UEFA Champions League final is tomorrow, isn't it? That is going to be a good game. So tune in tomorrow. And also the Unity Cup.
Yes.
Final. Is it Jamaica against Nigeria?
Come on.
Who's your money on?
Nigeria don't lose, you know.
Oh, serious?
They don't lose nothing. Yeah.
All right. How about you, Gina? Who's your money on?
Nigeria.
Come on.
Right. Have you had more Nigerian boyfriends than Jamaicans?
Yes.
Jamaicans. Well, I'm going for Jamaica. I mean,
love that for you.
Yeah, I've got a specific reason for that. But.
Why? Do you plan to share your reason or
no?
Okay, fine.
No. Jamaica. Jamaica.
Big up Jamaica, man. Hopefully they do well. You know what I'm saying? We don't want them to be annihilated, just beaten well in a humane way. You know what I'm saying? Very halal manner. But, you know what I mean? But come on, Nigeria. Let's do the job, man.
All right, then. All right. Thank you very much. In fact, we need to go to wrap up instead. Hold up.
Do you want to leave asking for a friend, yeah?
Oh, so you want to do it now? All right. Cool.
No, I'm just thinking about timing it, but...
Yeah, I don't want to do it on Monday because I may be leaving here at 8 a.m. at Monday. So you would have to just run it by yourselves.
May not have a show, guys, on Monday.
Nope. You will have to run it by yourselves. This is crazy.
Anyway, let's do it quickly. Oh, crap.
Crazy.
Gina can't read it, innit?
No.
Damn. All right.
Nope.
All right, people. So, our first asking for a friend. We're going to do this quite quick, guys. This is from a gentleman, 20 years old. He said, "Hi, guys. Started listening to you ever since Nimi and Olivia came on. Big up Nimi and Olivia every single time. You went to the same school. Anyway, my dilemma is there is a girl that I like. And everyone knows I like her, and so does she." Right? Ginny, you listening, yeah?
I'm listening.
Cool. She asked me to help her make a necklace. With context, the degree I study requires me to make stuff. So I know how to make candles, bed frames, bracelets, necklaces, etc. It's really cool, and I enjoy being practical. Back to the story. She asked me to help her make a necklace, and I did. I even, to be nice, made her a special necklace, and I told her that I made it for her, and it was special, and she should keep it. Sort of on a romantic flow. She gave me a kiss, okay, and I thought things were progressing, but it was early stages. Come to find out now, that one of my friends, you know what I'm saying? One of my friend's friend, not my friend, so my friend's friend, yeah, I seen one day walking around campus with my necklace that gave to her. That's right.
He saw his friend's friend wearing the necklace
that he gave to her.
Okay.
I was livid. It was so unique for her, and she gave it to some other guy. Come to find out, she gave my necklace to hit for her. What?
She gave the necklace to another guy.
Come to this doesn't make sense. Sorry, it says come to. I'll read it how it's written there, so you can try and decipher it. Come to find out, she gave my necklace for her to him because she proper likes him. Yeah, okay, cool. The necklace I gave to her,
she gave to
him because how much she likes him. Yeah, I even think him and his friend know that I made it for her. She gave it to him, and I think I'm being ridiculed on it. Damn, I don't really care about that, even though it don't feel nice. I don't know if the girl knows I know, and I haven't seen it recently. And my question is, what's the best way to handle the interaction with her moving forward? Do I confront her about it because she knows I don't know? Do I let her know I know how violating and embarrassing this is? Do I just ignore her? She's super violated and played me. Hopefully you don't laugh at me and think I'm a joke and take this seriously. Email Brent Marks.
I'm not Eman, I'm not Marks.
He's basically saying, the men don't laugh at me. You know what I'm saying? But give advice. Yeah, we wouldn't laugh.
I think it depends on how badly you care. If you care enough, then confront it. If you don't care, Keep it moving. I'm like, I can keep it moving. Like, I'm that person where next time you see me, if you try to say hello to me, I'll act like you're a ghost and you don't exist, and you'll be rattled. You'll be so confused. Because you'll be like, huh? Like, I thought we were cool. That's how I would approach it.
Yeah.
Like, I just wouldn't pay you any mind and just, we'd never speak again. And if you came afterwards and been like, hey, like, what's going on? Then I'd bring it to your attention. But I'm not going out my way to come and, because you clearly don't rate me, you think I'm a prick.
Yep.
So I've taken it for what it is, and I'm gonna keep it moving.
I couldn't have said anything better, man. I think that's exactly, some people just have to be dead to you, innit? You know what I'm saying?
Because it's not every day, like.
Wait a minute.
What happened?
Ramsey sent me a message. So this, obviously I just stepped out just now. This guy, he can make things. Does he have a 3D printer?
I don't know. He might do. He said basically he knows how to make candles, bed frames, bracelets, necklaces, etc.
All right. Mohammed, can you send me a message, please? Yeah, email me. Send me a DM. I need to get some stuff made.
No one else is laughing but you.
Plug. What? Ramsey sent me a message. Basically, there is something that we are doing that needs 3D printing stuff, right?
No, it's fine. I just said no one else is laughing but you, because you were like really laughing and dragging it on. You don't need to explain it, it's fine.
You know it's sunny outside. Yeah. When it's sunny, my spirits are lifted. I laugh for no reason.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Joy of the Lord.
Love that for you.
It's my strength and my joy.
That's it.
Come on, man. I've just explained as to why I'm laughing. Ramsey sent me a message. I didn't understand what he was talking about. Then I read the dilemma. I was like, cool. This might be something that could benefit TNB. So can you hit me up, please? I need your services. Thank you very much.
Yes. But yeah, I think, again, Gina answered it perfectly, man. Like, she's not worth your time or effort. Not at all, not in the slightest. Sometimes you just got to take the L. The L was your time, your effort making the bracelet. But imagine your life. Or just imagine 6 months or a year with this individual that has got this type of spirit. You know what I'm saying? Believe me, you've won. Get out of there quickly. Make her dead to you. Move on. You know what I'm saying? Let her be happy with that other guy, man. It's simple. You're good, man. Next one.
I like that crowd crow. Man came for advice, left with work. Exactly. This is the community effect. And then this one wants to shame me for laughing.
I didn't shame you for laughing. I just...
Welcome back. Continue as he left off. Right. I'll still send you them things, don't worry.
No, of course you are.
I've got you.
Yeah, today, please.
Yeah, I'll just keep taking abuse and still keep
No, I'm serious.
I will give it to you. I will give it to you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Our next one from a brother who's 33 years old. He said, firstly...
Jesus age.
He said, firstly, tell E-Man to prepare something for Pride Month next month. Talk about some black LGBT icons. Secondly, how does E-Man feel about Amber Rose saying we are all black? And is she valid? And there's a link here.
Oh, is it the video where she's like... I think I saw it where she's with her friends and she's like, just a couple black queens or something, about African queens or something.
Okay.
Oh, no, okay.
What do you say to people that... Can I ask, what do you say to people that didn't like that you called yourself an African queen?
Kiss my ass.
Yeah?
Yes.
How come?
We're all African queens.
Yeah.
We all come from Africa. All the Homo sapiens in the world come from Africa, so.
Yeah.
Are you a Homo sapien?
I'm just asking.
Are you a Homo sapien? We all come from the motherland, so we're all African queens.
Okay.
Yes.
Even white people can call themselves African queens?
100%.
Why?
Because we all come from Africa, babe.
The
people need to get out of their feelings.
Is it a little bit insensitive
No, it's not.
or offensive?
No, it's not. Because people in Africa love me.
Mm-hmm.
I've been over there plenty of times. They don't talk about race like they do over here in America. If you're a good person over there, that's all they care about. I mean, the places that I've been. I can't speak for every country in Africa, but everywhere I've been, as soon as you get off the airplane, they say welcome home. And I think that's a beautiful thing because it's the motherland and that's where we all stem from.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Take care.
Good to see you.
All right, man. Where do I start? So basically, if I'm not mistaken, Amber, what's her name?
Rose.
Amber Rose. She's from Cape Verde, isn't it? Cape Verde, part of Africa. So African queen. There you go. You got it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But saying everyone's black, please stop the foolishness. Stop that absolutely right now. Never say it again. Yes, all Homo sapiens came from Africa. But when they left Africa, some people changed, God damn it. And you can see that with colonization, imperialism, the way you're living right now, and the reason why you look the way you look. And everything is because of these changes. Race came in after that, long after that, hundreds of thousands of years after that. And it's the reason why we have something called black and white and this and that and the other. So, no, not everybody is black. Absolutely not. Unequivocally not. Emphatically not. Yeah, and regarding the other thing, the Pride Month, prepare something for Pride Month. Yeah, man, of course, man. We're going to talk about the black LGBT icons. I ain't doing the whole month, though, but we'll talk about them. We'll do a nice topic of the day on it, because why not? You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm not doing the whole month is because, if I'm not mistaken, from my friends who are part of the LGBT community, I know that sometimes the LGBT umbrella does not like to include the black folk and treat them in the same way. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to further the agenda of white supremacy in that organization. You know what I'm saying? Under that umbrella. The black people there, big up them. Again, big up them, man. Black people, African people first, man. That's the priority. So, yeah, 100%. Look forward to it. And the last one is from a woman, 32 years old. She said, just an appreciation for the men. Big up you. Shout out to Emmanuel, Margs, Ramsey, Brent, and Yusuf for producing quality content. You're all very handsome men. Emmanuel is sort of like...
Shoot your shot, sister.
Emmanuel is sort of like a young Denzel. Margs is like a Shamal Moore.
Wait. Sorry.
Make up Denzel, Glory and that, you know what I'm saying? Malcolm next.
Denzel.
You know what I'm saying? I understand. I think I see it too. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Big up Malcolm. Right? And she said, Margs is like a Shamal Moore. Ramsey is a Zayn Malik type. Brent gives Lance Gross. Who's that? Who's Lance Gross?
He used to date Eva Moss, the model.
Okay.
Dark skin guy.
Okay. And Yusuf is...
He's an actor.
And Yusuf is a moist chestnut with hair. Take care, guys.
Done. You know what? Big up you lot, man.
Big up you,
I
man.
love that for you,
Big
lot.
up you. Yeah, man. That's pretty much it for asking for a friend, man. Let's go into the wrap up, Brent. All right, people. So today's been a very good and eventful show. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, 1 second, guys. We spoke about quite a lot, man. Spoke about Hamas studying the US Gaza ceasefire plan, which is backed by Israel after saying it fails to meet its demands. We spoke about Kevin Badenoch attacking Starman Farage over the welfare system, saying that they got fantasy economics. Spoke about Trump and his tariffs and how it can now stay in place. Why? Because the appeal courts said so. Topic of the day, we spoke about being shipped back by parents, man. You know what I'm saying? And if the court should be involved and if it's right or wrong. Is it lazy parenting or parents who are present in their lives? We also spoke about trigger warning, Andrew and Tristan's Tate, who will now return to the UK to face charges. We spoke about Diddy and then how his ex-assistant allegedly, trigger warning, was raped and attacked by him. Spoke about France choosing to ban smoking on beaches, parks, and near schools. We spoke about the Liverpool parade crash suspect who's now going to be appearing in court, Paul Doyle, 53-year-old former Royal Marine. And we spoke about the US and how they threatened to abandon peace talks with Putin if he rejects the 30-day ceasefire. And we spoke about Robert Jenrick, who has turned into a vigilante in a bid to tackle London's fare dodgers. And of course, asking for a friend, we spoke about what we spoke about. And a bunch of stuff we spoke about in Word and Road. Good episode, people. And of course, we gave praise and respect to the legendary Ngugi wa Thiong'o, who passed away a couple of days ago, man. And I believe that's it. Yeah, I haven't missed nothing. Okay, cool. Everybody, Saturday as well, if you can make it, come down to the Ned. You know what I'm saying? Come build with us. And yeah, it's going to be a good evening, man. I think that's it, right, Brent? Do you know?
Lauren says she sent you a demon.
Big up, Lauren. Thank you. I shall check that.
All right. Thank you very much for this fantastic week, people. Again, apologies for yesterday's mishap, but I'm guessing you all don't even know what I'm talking about because you've already forgiven us. I hope you have a blessed weekend, and we will see you, God willing, on Monday. Bye.
Baby.
Peace.